my veins, spilling facts is my quest. I'm breaking the mold, no mainstream appeal. Just a kid with a dream and a heart made of steel. I sift through the data, the left and the right. No bias, no agenda, just seeking the light. They laugh at my setup, my low-res dream, but my words cut deeper than the corporate screen. I guess I'm too raw, too rough, too plain, but I'm spitting my heart, not chasing some game. No corporate leash, no puppet on strings. I'm free in my words, see the truth that I bring. No big channel shine, no glitter, no fakes. Minimal effort, just me and my takes. I'm speaking the truth, let the whole world know. Small time streamer, but that's how I roll. Do my words hit hard, give the system the chills. Minimal effort, no budget, no frills. I'm carving my path, let the fire erupt. Small time dreamer with a voice that's enough. I'm the spark in the dark, the glitch in the code. Carving my lane on this uncharted road. Million subs, no viral fame, but I'm owning the truth and I'm changing the game. I'll scream till my lungs give out, till the signal's dead. Every word that I speak is the blood that I bled. No big channel shine, no glitter, no fakes. Minimal effort, just me and my takes. I'm speaking the truth, let the whole world know. Small time streamer, but that's how I roll. Do my words hit hard, give the system the chills. Minimal effort, no budget, no frills. I'm carving my path, let the fire erupt. Small time dreamer with a voice that's enough.
Hey guys, I almost forgot to unmute the microphone. That would have been kind of a rookie mistake right there. Yeah, it's a lot going on. So, Quill Pig, you said they repealed it yesterday but tried to sneak it in under the Trump negotiations nose. I'm going to have to look into that. I haven't heard anything about that yet. Yeah, DB outdid himself on that one. You accidentally stumbled across this. Cage, is my YouTube still not notifying you when I go live? To be fair, my my pirate software video got like 36,000 views, which was great. And then my video about Nintendo from this morning is doing okay on views. So I don't know if YouTube is easing up on the algorithmic demotion that I've been dealing with, or if it's just picking the right time to release specific topics. But, you know, I'll take it, whatever it is. But yeah, glad you guys are here. It's been a very busy day for news. Like, I've been looking at this ever since this morning going, holy shit, there are so many things we could talk about tonight, because it is just coming at me like non-stop. It didn't notify you? Of course, why not? Hey, Geekhazu. Hey, everyone's names are back to normal. I'm just realizing that now. I think we streamed on what? No, we didn't do Monday because I was busy. Oh my god, guys, Monday was such a freaking long day. All right, so Monday, my son had his first playoff. No. My son had his second All-Star game, which we lost. We went 0-2. So we're all done. The whole family is done with All-Stars. My daughter's other team from our league was going to go play for the championship for the All-Star bracket on Monday night. So Monday we were at my older son's game, hottest part of the day in the middle of the afternoon. Then we went and got dinner. Then we drove out to the other game that was at a completely different city to watch the championship game. I got home at like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going live. Not happening. I was, you know, not sunburned, but I've been out in the sun the entire day, exhausted. I was baseballed out. I'm like, I can't. I just can't do anything. Hey, Mari. Bandai Namco show stream sucked. I didn't even have a chance to watch it. I was too busy at work today. My mom was going through a bunch of stuff, so we were talking. So I actually didn't even get a chance to watch it today. YouTube never notifies you either. I have to hover over people I think tend to go live. It's funny because I get a lot of notifications for people that go live. Not everybody, not every single one of them, but typically people whose channels I more or less regularly watch, I'll get notified. I don't know. Let's see. The night. Wait. What are you talking about, Susano? Oh, you're talking about Dust, the Dusk Bloods one, the Nintendo FromSoft game. Yeah. All right, so guys, we'll start off with a little bit of update on Stop Killing Games because this has been blowing up all over the internet. Let's talk about the other one first. So there's two initiatives for anybody who's not aware, because the UK is based, I'll just put it like that, and they're no longer part of the European Union. There's a separate initiative, a separate petition for the UK than there is for the EU. So the UK specific one has already passed the threshold that they needed for this entire, petition to go before Parliament. So currently sitting at 117,763 signatures, and you can see it's still going up. This is all they needed. Now, of course, they're going to try to add on to this because if any of the signatures are invalid, if they're from a different country, if somebody's pretending to be from the UK, that's going to have an effect on it. You only got shorts notifications? Oh, it's funny because, yeah, once in a while I'll do a short and that was it. As an ex-bot, 'twas a sad day. Dude, I feel ya, I get it. I mean, I'm no longer an ex-bot. I use Game Pass. I like Game Pass. Oh shit, I should probably put in the stream that I'm a Xbox Game Pass partner because I get a free key once in a while from Keymailer. I have to do that for liability's sake and all that. But yeah, so the UK one is above the threshold now to go to Parliament. They're going to have to keep adding onto this though because you know they're going to try to throw out a certain number of signatures due to inaccuracies or inconsistent information or whatever. So they've managed to hit the threshold for the UK one. The EU one is 1 million signatures. And again, remember, this is because it's Europe-wide. So for this one, this is crazy, all right? I watched this blow up over the last week from like 500,000 all the way up to where it is now. Let's refresh it real quick at an actual real-time number. 911,869 signatures as of right now, guys. And it's still going. It has till July 31st. This is going to go like freaking... This could hit 1.5 million signatures, to be honest. At the rate that this is climbing, this is insane. So, again, while this doesn't have any direct effect on us in the United States, in the West, or even in places like Japan right now, it eventually might. Because if these companies start making these games with the idea of preservation in mind, they're not just going to say, well, we'll preserve it for the European audience or the European version. They're going to have to do this, worldwide, which is going to be fantastic. You didn't sign yet? Is it safe? What do you mean, is it safe? Was a bit of a surprise this blew up. Here's the thing, Susano. This wasn't something that I even was aware of 10 months ago. A lot of us who really started covering pop culture news, culture war, Gamergate stuff during like the last 10 months that this got started, I didn't even know this was a thing, Yeah, you can only sign if you're a EU citizen. Now, there's two things about that. Pirate Software went on and clarified because I was like, dude, please guys, don't screw this up, right? Please don't screw this up. Don't sign this unless you're part of the EU. Apparently, it doesn't do anything. They'll just throw out the signature. Hang on. Sorry, I got the burps. Costco hot dog for dinner, not a good idea. So, you gotta add the ID number. Yeah, Geek, I don't like... Look, here's the thing. This is a double-edged sword, and I'll talk about this later on. I hate the EU as I hate any sort of like global government organization. Like I'm not anti-government. Like I'm a small L libertarian. I'm as little government involvement as possible in every aspect of life, right? So I don't like anything that's like an overarching governmental body telling anybody what to do. But this is for consumers. This is a consumer-minded initiative being put forward to stop, the abuse of AAA companies basically selling you a product and then yanking it away whenever they feel like it. So this is something I could get behind. That being said, of course, yes, you could argue that the EU is going to abuse their authority, but look, they're already doing that in different ways. For example, the Nexus mods thing, which I haven't even had a chance to talk about yet, and we'll try to get to at some point. So if you sign it as somebody who's not a member of the EU, it doesn't invalidate the entire petition. All they'll do is they'll go through and they'll comb out those people who are not actually EU citizens, and they'll just take those signatures off the tally. That's why they need as many people as possible to sign this thing from the EU, because they have to counteract, even when this hits 1 million signatures, those are probably not going to be 1 million valid signatures. There's probably going to be like 10, 20, 30,000 right off the bat that they skim off and say, yeah, this one's an improper address, improper, not an actual citizen. This person's in freaking, Timbuktu or something. You're glad the UK got out of the EU? Yeah, I know as an American, I don't really have much opinion on it, other than I would probably want to be independent of the EU as well if I was the UK. So, I mean, more power to them. I know it was a controversial issue. Brexit was a big deal, but... No. That's not true, DB Wild. I love Costco hot dogs. It's just I had the Costco hot dog, and then I had the iced blended coffee that they had there. And then I came home and I had something that I probably shouldn't have had. I can't remember. The EU has a validated list of all their citizens. Sounds like something maybe that the US should do. Hey, Lucia! Okay, you're going to sign it. It's the right thing. Geek, that is awesome, dude. Like I said, I'm not going to try to sign it because A, it's a crime if you're not a member of the EU. If you're not part of the EU as a citizen, it's an actual crime to sign this, because I guess because it's supposed to go to the government, so you can't put your name on it if you're not an EU citizen. However, the more people that we can talk to about it and spread the message about it, this is just freaking awesome. Lucia, you didn't miss much. We're just getting caught up to date on the total number of signatures on Stop Killing Games, which is it's blowing up, dude. It's crazy. 912,000 as we're sitting here. So it's great. It depends what the system. I just had to give valid ID number. Hot dogs are great. 180 yen with a drink. I don't know how many, what the equivalent yen is to dollars when it comes to Costco hot dogs. France is a crime, and that's in the EU. You're not wrong. If we could somehow give France or Canada to France, I'd be okay with that. Actually, somebody had said, I think it was Quillpig talking about the US absorbing Canada. Somebody mentioned that. I'm like, no, I don't think so. You have to use your ID to access Nexus mods adult content. Yes. That is something, like I said, that there's a lot of nuance to that. We can get into that later on if we run out of stuff to talk about. So chicken bake's okay. So Costco is supposed to be making a calzone pretty soon here. I don't know about that. Like, I like most of what Costco does. They do great pizza, so maybe the calzone will be, pretty good. I don't know. $1.3? That's cheaper than it is here. It's $1.50 here, man. You just speak German, you'll become EU citizens. I speak German now. Not fluently anymore. That legally can't happen. Same reason we can't get new states. I know it's the weirdest thing. We can't get new states, but we still have territories like Guam and Puerto Rico. It's the weirdest thing. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on some of these topics that are kind of the main focal point tonight. Although this one here, not necessarily the biggest topic, but like I mentioned before, this has to do with the whole Nexus mods thing. The UK king formally gave ownership of Canada to their natives. It might take a while, but that's going to get weird for them. Yeah, I mean, freaking UK used to control, like, what, 70% of the known world or whatever? Hang on one second. The dog is sleeping right here, and if we leave the back door open and someone else's dog starts barking, that's going to get noisy. Since when is speaking German required even in Germany? It's not anymore. You're better off to, if you live in Germany, I think, to speak something other than the native language. They sell meat pies in the cafe in Costco? I don't even want to know what a meat pie is. All right, Mahendra, don't worry, dude. We'll be here for a while. You didn't try to log in to find out if it impacts you? Yeah, the thing is, first of all, I know most people are trying to move away from Nexus if possible. The only issue is that Nexus is kind of like, it's kind of like one of those things where, oh, I hate this company, but this company provides me X product for the best price possible, so I'm just going to continue shopping at this store or this company or this website or whatever. I get it. Nexus Mods is the biggest modding website. And so despite people not liking their policies or their, one-sided political ideology or whatever, people continue to go there because of the fact that they have all the mods, you know? One thing PlayStation's trying to do is change the login method to fingerprint. See, I don't like that. Dude, I don't even do fingerprint on my phone, okay? I don't do anything with facial ID, fingerprint, PIN. PIN number is all I'll use. That's about it. Nexus is not the only one doing this now. Numerous sites have a semblance of adult content are starting to require some sort of ID verification. Not a fan. Yeah, look, here's the thing. I am all for protecting kids. I'm all for not exposing kids to stuff that they're not ready for. I mean, hell, one of the biggest issues I had helping coach my son's all-star team is that there are some of these 12-year-old boys who are not being raised the way that my son is, where I don't expose him to all the worst things possible on the internet or let him watch and do whatever he wants. And so they'll be saying and doing things that I'm like, dude, that's so not cool. Like, you can't say that shit around these other kids. You got 10-year-olds here. They don't, like, that's not appropriate, right? But at the same time, it's like, that child is not my child. It's not my job to police what he gets into online. That's his parents' job. So this whole argument about protecting children by requiring adults to jump through extra hoops and give up like personal private data, I don't know. It seems weird. It seems invasive. I bet they do the pepper grinder thing. What pepper grinder thing were we talking about? Costco in Japan used to be good, but they sell more Japanese brands like the USA stuff. You know, once in a while over here in our Costco, we'll get like the random Japanese products, and there's some of them that have actually been okay. There was one that was like I don't know how to describe it. It was a candy. It was like peanut toffee, but it was very light on the inside, more like a wafer than thick and crunchy like a brittle would be, and it was pretty decent. It was kind of like, I think it was like freeze-dried peanut butter kind of crunchy thing. It was the weirdest thing. YouTube requires it too. It's not a user thing in this case, though. Oh, the pepper grinder thing's a crazy trend. I don't even want to know, man. There are so many like retarded Gen Alpha, not even Gen Alpha, Gen Z trends that I just don't even want to know about. Yeah, Joe, won't someone think of the children, right? All right, so it says Nexus Mod statement. Due to the Online Safety Act and Digital Service Act, we are required as a UK-based company to ensure we continue to remove illegal content and add additional restrictions to children's access to certain adult content. As a business, this leaves us with a choice. Remove adult content for all UK and EU-based users, or make adjustments to our policy, including adding age verification for some adult content. You want to ask about anime? If you don't mind, go for it. You know that I haven't seen anime. No, they're not Nutter Butters. It's the weirdest thing, Susano. If I can remember what they were called, I'll try to tell you. It was a Japanese peanut or peanut butter candy, but it was like it was shaped more like a log almost, like almost like an almond roca kind of shaped candy. But it was like really light and crispy on the inside. They want you to get used to giving up your ID stuff online to protect the youth, and then you'll get online ID. Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much true. Yeah. It's a privacy issue. That's why stuff like this is normally in place. Yeah. So it says right here, we wanted to give you all a heads up that over the coming weeks and months, we'll be making some changes to how things work on Nexus Mods in regards to adult content, child safety online, and our ongoing commitment to remove illegal content. Again, as a parent of a almost teenager who doesn't even mod games yet, he barely touches his computer. It's the funniest thing, because ever since I fixed their computer last year, put a new graphics card in, put it all in a new case, and fixed it up, added some RAM, whatever, he barely even uses his computer. So it looks like something from the litter box. How dare you, man? Almond Roca is from my state. That's one of the many things Washington has contributed. Xbox Insider has a sign up to do paid playtests in the Puget Sound. Interesting. I might have to look into that. I have the Xbox Game Pass partner shit through Keymailer, so I get my Game Pass free once a month. As long as they continue doing it. They tell you in the little contract thing that you are free to be honest and share your honest opinion about, Xbox. So I don't think this stream is going to get me in trouble. I don't know. We'll see. I think I had the candy in Taiwan. I think it's Chinese. I don't know. It's something different. Yeah, see, Smeg knows what he's talking about. I don't use Nexus till I'm over. I'm a mature woman, but I refuse to watch adult content, even Witcher 3. See, Mari, I choose typically to avoid watching anything like super sexually explicit. And it's like, I've been around. I've seen plenty of that kind of crap in my day. But for me personally, I just don't enjoy that in my entertainment. Yeah, I've been paying attention to the Idaho thing. Oh yeah, man, I've been in Washington for a long time. It's worse than that. I was born in California. And then I've been up in here in Washington for 35 years now. Yeah. Oh no. I'm a California transplant to Washington, okay? No, Quillpig, I was gonna do a video on my other channel about the whole Idaho thing. I have not had time. I'm gonna start to have more free time to make sure I'm actually able to make videos on both channels and do my couple live streams a week now that baseball season's wrapped up, so. Yeah, but Mari, I don't think Stellar Blade crosses the line. I think that there is a very good balance, and I've seen people make the argument that anything that is sexually appealing is a quote-unquote gooner game, and I disagree. I think that there are definitely, I can remember back in the day that everybody realized sex sells. And not in terms of explicit content, but in terms of if you're going to do an advertisement, if you're going to do models for clothing brands and stuff, you find the most attractive people possible because there's that sexual attraction, that sexual chemistry you get from people who are desirable looking. That's not the same thing as saying it's, gooner, or that people are, or it's basically the same thing as softcore pornography or whatever, Just got back from California yesterday. Hopefully the weather was good down there. I don't even know what the weather is like down there. Oh no, Tekla, I know what, I'm not saying it's explicit, dude. Yeah, Geek, my other channel I do more either talking about movies, entertainment, politics, whatever I'm really feeling like talking about at the time. So, yeah, I'm a rose that identifies as not having thorns. No, Tekla, to me, I don't consider that explicit content, but it's a mature game. So it's gonna have nudity, sexual content, violence. That's normal for most mature games. I'm a woke plant in real life. No, I'm far more based and racist in real life than I am on YouTube. I try to be more level-headed and moderate on YouTube. We'll say that. It's kind of hard to sexualize the body after that. Not saying the nudity isn't a problem to others, just saying it's just nudity to you. What are we talking about? Oh, you were sat on a bench forced to sit with a man between your legs and another man behind you as you sat between his. Yeah, well, it's also the same, I would think, for doctors, medical professionals, surgeons, people who have to see the worst of the worst, nurses, people that have to see the worst of human anatomy and physiology possible. You probably get used to seeing naked people, and especially not getting turned on by it, I'm sure that there's a certain amount of oversaturation, exposure therapy that takes place there. It says these updates are part of our legal obligation to comply. Let's see here. While we're required to make these changes under the new UK and EU laws, they also give us the opportunity to improve how content is managed on the site. So they're trying to spin this as a positive. These updates aim to give users more control, protect vulnerable audiences, and ensure Nexus Mods remains a platform that can support all types of content responsibly. But they don't allow all types of content. We've seen them literally censor and remove mods that they don't agree with, even if it doesn't go that far, Well, Quillpig, you can't control who your audience is. You can try to cater to a certain audience, but at the end of the day, as long as people accept you for who you are and they enjoy your content, it really doesn't matter. All right, so it says, why are we making changes? Due to the Online Safety Act and Digital Service Act, we're required to ensure we continue to remove illegal content and add additional restrictions to children's access to certain adult content. Leaves us with the choice, blah, blah, blah. Adult content is a core part of what makes Nexus Mods what it is. We don't consider removing it a viable option. We are aware that some users may find these changes irritating. However, we are obligated to do this to ensure we can continue to host adult content legally. I don't understand that, but that's just the story that they're sticking with, so we'll see. Stellar Blade's erotica for the sake of it. In Witcher, there's context for that stuff. Maybe apart from the brothel scenes, those are pretty... Yeah, the brothel scenes are useless. That's one of those, but it's also avoidable. The thing about it is, it's also not forced on you or, shoved in your face because you have to seek... It's just like Fable. Although there's no nudity in Fable, at least not the original ones. It's entirely up to you if you visit the brothel or not. It's okay for young people to be liberal. If you're not a liberal when you're young, you have no heart. And if you're not a conservative when you're old, you have no brain. I've heard that many times going through life. I've never been liberal. In fact, I'm actually more liberal in a certain sense as an adult than I was as a kid, because I'm less uptight about certain things when it comes to like tattoos, piercings, types of music. I was raised like super rigid, super conservative when it came to like anything popular as far as like entertainment and music goes. I still have a lot of strong opinions about music and entertainment, but I would say that in certain ways I'm more relaxed on those kind of things. In a nutshell, let Nexus mod becomes your parents. Basically, yeah. Well, and Mari, that there's an argument for that too. Because in that context, you are right. A lot of people say, hey, it's just pixels. And if pixels bother you, then that's a you problem. So I think that there's an argument to be made for a lot of things. And there's a lot of nuance that can be taken away from a lot of this. But at the end of the day, people have to make the decision for themselves what kind of content they want to consume, whether it's in person or, with real people or with pixels. All right. So here's the main story we're going to lead off with. Mostly small L liberal, even though I'm a registered Republican. Yeah, Susano, like, I'm not liberal in the sense of, like, supporting gay marriage, being pro-LGBTQ, pro-trans crap, any of that kind of stuff. It's more the sense that, like, things that would be considered... I mean, you look at me. I've got tattoos, and I've got... I don't know. I listen to a lot of Swedish metal, and... there are just things about me that don't necessarily fit the rigid mold of a conservative right-wing Republican. But as far as like my personal opinions, ideologically, oh yeah, I'm super far right-wing. But that's like, there are going to be exceptions to a couple things here and there. So. Scarlett Johansson doesn't realize she got hot in Hollywood because she got her shot in Hollywood because she was hot, yeah. Thought Che Guevara was cool. When you were young, glad I didn't... See, here's the thing, Geek. I did not get a single tattoo till I was like 25. I would say the best advice you could ever give anybody, if they are going to have a tattoo, is don't get a tattoo until you're like, at least in your 20s. You have to have some knowledge of who you are and what you like, I still want nudity and cursing toggleable as accessibility options in games. You didn't like them in KCD. Yeah, and there's some people that are going to be turned off to that. You wouldn't consider Stellar Blade erotica at all, despite that people sexualize Eve. She moves and jiggles naturally for any woman. Well, and see, DB Wild, the thing about it is people are going to focus on the things that they care about the most. When I play Stellar Blade, I notice the combat. I'm paying attention to the enemies because I'm trying to parry and dodge and do all other crap. I'm not spending the whole time like, ooh, is the character hot? Absolutely. Did they create a great character model? For sure. But for me, it's more about the gameplay than anything else. What did Risaki say? UK and EU users just need a VPN to get around the age verification. That is very true. That is very true. VPNs are definitely the best way to go. You're still sleeping but listening? Hey, you know what? I can appreciate that. Dude, I don't know if it's because baseball season has me all screwed up as far as like getting up super early, knowing I have to leave work early, or staying out late for baseball games. But with the sun coming up earlier every day, I'm waking up like an hour before my alarm even goes off. It is the like worst thing ever, because I'll stay up late, not planning on waking up before my alarm, and then it's like 6:30 in the morning and the sun's peeking through the windows, and I'm like, really? It's not even 7 o'clock yet. That would also be weird. I enjoy playing and reading visual novels because music and Japanese voice acting. Yeah, tats in Japan equals Yakuza. Oh no, Mari has already filled me in on like the taboo side of having tattoos if you go to Japan, They don't make good one-handed controllers. Yeah, well, you certainly can't do that with mouse and keyboard, although they do make that little mini keyboard that's kind of like, it only has WASD, QE. I think it's only got like the left side of the keyboard on it. I mean, like doing cartwheels in a miniskirt. I've watched enough old Japanese cartoons on TV to know what to look out for. Fair enough. All right. So Microsoft laying off as many as 9,000 employees. This was the story that broke this morning from Tom Warren over at, well, Tom Warren's not the one who broke it. I think Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming broke it. In fact, I should be using the Insider Gaming because screw The Verge. Insider Gaming is like one of the only mainstream publications that I think is even worth talking about these days. But Microsoft confirmed it's laying off as many as 9,100 employees, or about 4% of its workforce, in another round of cuts this year. Reported by the Seattle Times, employees in Microsoft's Xbox division known as Microsoft Gaming are being hit the hardest by these layoffs, although exact numbers and divisions are not yet known. Well, we have more information now as this has continued to go on. So let's kind of jump to these individual stories. There was a rumor going around that Phil Spencer was supposed to be stepping down because of this, right? And a lot of people are saying that he deserves to step down. Even if Eve is easy on the eyes, the game is more about combat mechanics, timing, and more. I think it'd be equally as enjoyable if Adam was the main character. Yeah, I mean, as far as the combat goes, but here's the thing. I wouldn't want to play as Adam based on the way he looks. Some people have said he kind of looks like a twink a little bit. But for me personally, like games like First Berserker Kazan, the way that the main character looks, I would much rather play a game like that with like a badass looking guy if I'm playing a male. At 16, you got an 8-ball tat on your chest. Body continued to grow, and your friends started calling it the egg ball and dragged you to... Oh my god, see, that's what I'm telling you. Yeah, trying to type with one eye, I've been there as well. No, dude, for real. I've been saying for years now, like, unless you're planning on losing a bunch of weight, and then that's going to jack up your body too, as far as like your skin stretching and relaxing and all that kind of stuff. Waiting until you get older to get a tattoo is always the best idea. It's always the smartest way to go. You hate saying this, but you have to cut losses. Your opinion on this? I don't disagree. So the thing about it is, Susano, Xbox is making, I want to say, record money in the last couple of years. I have not confirmed this. I got to go and look at the actual numbers. All I've heard about is like they have more Game Pass subscribers and they've got more revenue, blah, blah, blah. And actually, the video game company or industry as a whole has been making more money exponentially every year. How much of that is net versus gross, I don't know. I don't know the actual numbers on that. But what we've seen, though, is the fact that a lot of people are blaming Game Pass and subscription service models, digital games over physical games and stuff, for a lot of what we're seeing with Xbox and the layoffs, and again, a lot of what we're seeing now. So how do you feel about playing a Link in the Zelda games? He's nearly the definition of twink before twink was even a thing. I mean, I'm okay with it because of the fact that he's always treated as like an elf-like character. So it doesn't bother me. If he was supposed to be like human and he looked like that, I might have a bigger issue with it. But elves typically in fantasy always have more of that kind of a twink look anyways. I mean, if you're basing it off of like Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings or a lot of other fantasy stories, elves always get that very feminine look, you know? Yeah, Xbox is thriving on profits, right. Also keep in mind why the sunk cost fallacy is one. The majority of games are never released after they're made. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, like I said, you go back to what the Ubisoft executive said last year, saying the quiet part out loud. How about his voice? His voice is okay. I don't have a problem with Link's voice typically. Link's not a twink, he's more like Wolverine. Well, isn't he Hylian? He's Hyrule's the whole place, but isn't he specifically Hylian? Or does it depend on the story? I don't know. There's this whole Link timeline that I know that some people pay attention to. I don't know. Male elves, you mean? Well, I know. I'm just saying typically the way that they seem to be portrayed in entertainment a lot of the time, elves, for whatever reason, the male elves get like that super feminine treatment, and it's kind of weird. Don't know if it's a great idea getting into the weeds on this. Maybe not. But typically we tend to get into the weeds here. That's just what we do. And you're printing. Oh, so you're saying, in your opinion, if the funding went away a long time ago, that is, those funding games today aren't the ones that used to. That's another possibility as well. I don't know. Yes, they blocked someone with the name Twink Link. I know. That was the funniest thing. And the worst part is that customer service is like, oh, that's really funny, but I can't do anything about it, you know? Link is canonically Christian. I've seen something about that. I've seen like artwork and stuff, and people showing like pictures and stuff of him praying or whatever in church and all that. I don't know how much of those are modern versus like going back to the 80s, but I mean, it's an interesting concept. Oh, the localizers are the worst, Mari. He's basically a paladin. Okay, so it says there are no plans for Phil Spencer, Microsoft Xboxes, and gaming lead to exit the company, according to Microsoft's CCO. So, like I said earlier this morning, the whole thing was, oh, Phil Spencer is going to step down, right? And then, of course, they come back and they say, nope, he's not going anywhere. Wednesday was a dark day for Windows and Xbox maker Microsoft, the firm announcing over 9,000 layoffs. The company's gaming division was one of the several that was affected significantly, and as part of the cuts, multiple projects, including Everwild, and we'll get to these games that are getting cut off because some of these are pretty hilarious, were all canceled. The initiative as a studio has also been shuttered. Its partnership with Tomb Raider developer Crystal Dynamics ended abruptly by the closure. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It's a terrible day to be an Xbox fan with these. I mean, here's the thing, guys. I'm not an Xbox fan. I'm not a PlayStation fan. I'm not a Nintendo fan. I'm a fan of video games. I'm a fan of good video games. And I think we need more good video games that aren't going to, like, you know, abuse their customers and try to, like, squeeze every last drop out of them. So if you're releasing games that take years to make and you have nothing to show for it, and we'll get into that about Perfect Dark a little bit later on, your game doesn't deserve to exist. Your studio doesn't deserve to exist if you can't put out a decent product at some point, like in a reasonable time frame. There's no way to sugarcoat it. So we already said that part. Amidst the negativity, though, even more rumors began to spread from Call of Duty leaker The Ghost of Hope, a claim that Microsoft gaming CEO and Xbox head Phil Spencer will be stepping down from his role after the next generation Xbox console releases, rumored to be planned for 2027. I don't think he's going anywhere. Not to mention, I can't believe that we're already 2 years away from the next Xbox console. Like, I'll never buy an Xbox console ever again. Like, never. I'll never buy any console. Maybe in the future a Nintendo, because it's just for the sake of exclusives. But like, as far as most games, look, if you have a decent graphics card, decent computer, you can play pretty much anything. So why the hell would I ever buy another console? It just seems asinine to me. In most Earth culture, elves are not pristine creatures of beauty. Some are twisted and monstrous. I know DB Wild, and I don't think that that was the way that it was intended by Tolkien when he wrote Lord of the Rings. I just think it's one of those things where, unfortunately, I don't know if that was a Peter Jackson interpretation or if it was somebody like, I don't know. I feel like when I read the original, like the Silmarillion and a lot of the other books, they weren't intended to be so damn effeminate, you know? You would swap to Linux if you could play Delta Force on the OS. I'm still debating about my next computer trying to do Linux instead of Windows. We'll see. I have time before I even worry about that. I'm not doing anything with a new computer for another year or two down the road now. Because I got the 9060 in here, I can basically make this computer last probably several years longer now at this point. Even FromSoft with Duskblood's online games on Switch. I love how there's a lot of hate by developers for older games being better. I mean, isn't that funny? Isn't that that is honestly a really interesting thing, where you do get a lot of hate from developers nowadays, where they spend years working on a game, even if it's going to be a good game. Let's say give it the benefit of the doubt. Even if the game was going to be a decent game that sold well, if it takes you 7 years to make a game and $200 to $300 million, and it's just another AAA title that, you know, in 2 months people forget about and has no lasting impact, those people are so salty over games that last year after year after year. Hell, I mean, Sandy Peterson, the dude that created the Age of Empires series, was talking about that on Twitter the other day, saying how it pisses him off as an RTS guy that the best RTS game is Age of Empires 2, a game that he made like 30 years ago. And he's like, I'm a fan of RTS games. Why can't you guys do better than the game that I made 3 decades ago? Elf is tall and beautiful. See, we're having conflicting opinions here in the chat about elves. They're not beautiful. They look like goblins. Okay, DB, was that the elves of Mirkwood though, versus the? Because again, if you go back to like other fantasy stories, you have high elves, you have wood elves, you've got dark elves. So I think it also depends, like I said, on the story specifically, like the universe that they exist in. It is not the buyer's problem that the games suck. You are 100% correct. First game has a Bible, second game has a carryable cross. But the second game, to be fair, I really wanted to try A Link to the Past. I think that was the second Legend of Zelda game. I never had it on my original Nintendo, so I got it on the Switch when I had the the Zelda games and stuff on the NES Online. And I tried playing it, and I'm not digging the Link's Awakening. Not Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening is awesome. A Link to the Past is just not great in my opinion. I don't know. So if it does exist, I didn't see that part. It says our own sources have indicated that there's currently no definitive plan in place for Phil Spencer to retire. Shocking. Shocking, right? In fact, I think there's a statement from Phil Spencer here regarding the layoffs. It says in a memo to staff regarding upcoming layoffs, I recognize these changes come at a time when we have more players, games, and gaming hours than ever before. Then this is simply either greed or mismanagement by Xbox. I mean, make it make sense. Our platform, hardware, and games roadmap have never looked stronger. The success we're seeing currently is based on tough decisions we made previously. We must make choices now for continued success in future years, and a key part of this strategy is the discipline to prioritize the strongest opportunities. We will protect what's thriving and concentrate effort on areas.
Absolutely not. I like
Oh,
to be
Smeg,
liked.
dude, holy crap.
Do I need to be liked? Absolutely not.
Almost didn't
I
have my
like to
volume
be
high
liked.
enough to hear that,
I
man.
enjoy being liked. I have to be liked.
Smeg with the 5 gifted memberships, dude. Holy crap. Oh, that was the wrong one. I was trying to give you a round of applause and I got a fart instead. There we go. All right, dude, appreciate you, man. I can't thank you guys enough. Anybody who ever donates or gifts memberships or whatever, I mean, I'd be doing this even if my channel wasn't monetized. So I appreciate the hell out of you guys, especially just for hanging out in the chat, just for talking about this and shooting the shit with me, you know? That's the best part of this entire thing, is just being able to talk about, you know, the different topics that are affecting everything. I know, I felt so bad I farted on him for those gifted memberships. I have to remount my buttons on my Stream Deck here. Goblin Slayer has church, but they're not Christian churches. Well, Mahendra, lots of different fantasy stories and universes have different churches in them, different religions that are, I would say, Christian adjacent or different representations of like Christian churches that aren't really like Christian in their story. He'll take the fart. Good. You kind of have to now because I already did it. He says, we will protect what is thriving and concentrate effort on areas with the greatest potential while delivering on the expectations the company has for our business. This focused approach means we can deliver exceptional games, there's a typo there, and experiences for players for generations to come. The layoffs for the Xbox division are reported to be between 1,000 and 2,000 developers, with the possibility of entire studios being shuttered. Bless you. But we know now that there's more than that. Holy crap, woman. Bless you. I'm over here trying not to sneeze, and you're sneezing in the other room. You're still sleeping? Well, my wife sneezing didn't wake you up. Would have woken me up, and I'm over here. So here's a list. This is updated as of 1:24 my time this afternoon. All the Xbox games cancels and studios closed in Microsoft's latest mass layoff. Phil said it a while ago. At the end of the day, he has to run a business. I don't fault anybody for running a business. Here's the thing. I have my own business. I've been in business my entire life. Family business, making tough decisions and all that stuff. And I understand it. You have to, first and foremost, cover your costs, right? If you're not covering your costs, you can't continue as a business. But there is something to be said for mismanagement and bad decisions made by the higher ups that have a trickle effect on the people below them. So even if you have people, let's say the company's making money, but they're spending too much on these different departments, you shouldn't have done okay, we all know that Microsoft has the DEI crap that they do, right? Maybe you shouldn't have hired 50 different DEI officers to scatter across your offices across the country, right? Maybe those people never should have been hired. Maybe you could have saved $1 million a year by not paying those 50 people's salaries, you know? But again, it has an effect on everybody else because of your poor management decisions. That's all I'm saying. So it says right here, let's skip down to the end. Raven Software, the esteemed Call of Duty development studio, is said to have been affected by the cuts. The studio co-developed Black Ops 6 and returns to co-developer 2025's. These guys, do none of these people have an editor? Holy shit. Returns to co-develop, not co-developer. Black Ops 7. Raven is also known for its work on Call of Duty Warzone. Blah. Exact number or nature of the cuts at Raven is unknown. Here's the interesting one. Like PlayStation attempting live service, yeah. Yeah, all those higher-ups fly first class with company money, right. Microsoft doing an EA from back in the day. I wonder who will do it worse. Microsoft. Microsoft, of course, will do it worse. Oh, no, Susano, I understand the move. The issue, again, is that poor decisions by the people up on top in the first place result in a lot of these people losing their jobs, you know? When I start sneezing, I keep going for 2 minutes straight, loud ones. My wife hates it. I typically have like one big sneeze and I get it out of the way and then I'm done, you know? Turn 10 Studios. Forza Motorsport developer Turn 10 Studios was reportedly hit significantly by the Xbox cuts. A report said nearly 50% of staff were let go, though it's not clear how many people this amounts to. The studio's last release was 2023's Forza Motorsport for PC and Xbox Series. I haven't played Forza in probably 4 or 5 years. Here's another one. Rare and Everwild. British developer Rare was affected by the layoffs too, with the studio's upcoming game Everwild being cancelled. Game was announced in 2019. Holy shit, and has been in development for... This is the problem, okay. Has been in development for reportedly 10 years. 10 years a game has been in development. How many... I was explaining this whole situation today with my wife in the car on the way back from running some errands tonight. And I'm like, imagine you're in this situation where you've had a job for 7 or 8 years and you've been getting paid day in and day out for your hours, maybe overtime, whatever, maybe getting a bonus for the holiday season. And your job amounts to you're working on one project for 7 or 8, 9, 10 years, and you never accomplish anything. It never comes to fruition. It essentially is a waste of 8 years, but you got paid. Your bills are paid, right? You're, as far as things go, you have to have a job, you have to work, you have to have an income to pay your bills and take care of your family. So you don't care. You've had a job continuously for this many, almost a decade now, right? For some of these people, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, you don't accomplish your goal because you never produced anything, you know? Oh, massive waste of money. Beyond reasonably long, yeah. Anonymous developers speak to VGC and said that Rare couldn't find the right direction for this project even after it was rebooted. This sounds like Concord. This sounds like Marathon. This sounds like all this other shit that we've seen coming out of Sony. They have no direction. They don't know where they're doing. I mean, that's insane. A new MMO from the Elder Scrolls Online developer ZeniMax Online, reportedly codenamed Blackbird, was said to be canceled. It had reportedly been in development in some form since 2018. 7 years. 7 years. Okay? Perfect Dark and The Initiative. One of Microsoft's newest studios, The Initiative, is closing up shop, and its first game, a new Perfect Dark, has been canceled. A report from May 2024 said the new Perfect Dark game was in rough shape. We got more information about Perfect Dark we're going to talk about in a minute. 10 years is what it took Akira to come out, all hand-drawn anime movie without any computers or copy-paste. But see, that's the thing. You can legitimately explain why something of that caliber takes 10 years. Because you're looking at something that is a labor of love. You're looking at something that requires passion and skill, artistry, something that requires, a intensive amount of time. That makes a lot of sense. This crap? No, not even. Let's see, one of Microsoft's new studios. We already covered that one. High Moon. Jasmine Brooks, it's going so far. How's yours? As expected from Cooperate Slop. Yeah, exactly. You wanted Perfect Dark, but there's not enough of an audience for it. Funny story about Perfect Dark. I didn't play it as a kid. I went back and bought it years later. I think it was Nintendo 64 game, the first one was? Or was that Perfect Dark 0? I never played it. So whichever version I think was for the N64, I went back years later and bought a copy used from Game Crazy. Came home, tried to play it, and I'm like, I don't get it. It's kind of like how everybody played James Bond's GoldenEye back when I was a kid, and I just didn't own it, so I have no connection to it. I don't understand the nostalgia, but for me, I guess the equivalent would be like going back and playing Halo 1, you know? Halo 2, those kind of games. Longtime Call of Duty co-developer High Moon Studios has been affected by the Xbox cuts too. According to Charlie Intel, the studio has for years supported Call of Duty Warzone and other Call of Duty projects. Sledgehammer, another Call of Duty, a lot of Call of Duty studios, that's insane, has forced has faced layoffs as part of the wider cuts at Microsoft, and that's according to Charlie Intel and Insider Gaming. Well, Insider Gaming has pretty good scoops on a lot of stuff. I would trust what they're saying right now. Good at the time, yeah, I don't think it aged well. Well, I'm not talking, I didn't wait till like, 5 years ago to play it. I think I bought it when I was like late teens, maybe early 20s and tried to play it. So at that point, it was probably only, I don't know, 5 or 6 years past popularity. I don't know, for me, I just couldn't get into it. But same thing goes for Metroid, like the first-person Metroid games. I didn't play any of them at the time, and then I bought one again at Game Crazy when I was a teenager, and I actually had a few bucks to spend on games. And I just couldn't get into it, I don't know. Let's see, Blizzard and Warcraft Rumble. Nobody wants to play, and this is what, a mobile game? Come on. Blizzard has announced that Warcraft Rumble support will not continue in its current form. While systemic events and bug fixes will still be made, no new content will be added. Aftermath reports that some Blizzard employees will shift to different roles, while others will be let go. An exact figure has not been confirmed, but it's said to be as many as 100 people. All right. So, of course, a lot of people pointing out that nearly 50% of the Forza team was laid off. Call of Duty is affected too. Of course, from Jason Schreier. Yeah, I love Jason Schreier. Some of the worst takes on the internet. Here's a good one from Ryan McCaffrey saying, it's batshit insane to me that Turn 10, a studio that's literally never shipped anything less than a great game. I think that that's debatable, but if you're basing it off Metacritic scores, the Metacritic scores tell a different story. Is being reduced to perhaps a support studio with these cuts. What an absolutely brutal business gaming is. I mean, Metacritic scores for the Forza games don't lie. They seem, except for 5. 5 is down to a 79. I've only played a handful of these ones. I don't even know which ones for sure. It just went uber gay. Yeah. You guys all have phones, right? I mean, yeah, I don't play games on my phone though. Too many Call of Duty, but making mid-Call of Duty game. That's the thing. It's like they're just trying to make as many as possible without worrying about the actual quality of those games. You know? Not the Horizon ones, those sold very well. Yeah, Horizon's one of the ones that I actually played. Horizon 4, and then I didn't play Horizon 5. I think my son downloaded it on his computer or something. He tried playing one of the Forza Motorsports, but I think it was... Motorsport is more of an actual... I want to say like a simulator, right? So a little bit more realistic driving, and those are ones that are obviously harder for a kid to play. So he had a bit of a harder time with the Motorsport one, but I'm pretty sure he's got Horizon 5 on his computer, I think. Again, I'm not a big racing game guy. So for me personally, I don't base the popularity of Forza games on my own personal opinion on any of that kind of stuff because I don't play racing games that much. So whatever. Then, of course, we had the Xbox games shown during the June showcase, which are safe, and I guess this was the showcase today, or unless they're talking about a different one. Horizon's great, you don't do Motorsport. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure Motorsport is one of those ones that's, yeah. Which one of them's awake? Oh, the twins are never going to go to sleep. It's already 10:15, and I don't know that any of my kids are actually asleep right now. Microsoft and Xbox are in the middle of holding mass layoffs. I'll fix the camera, don't worry. Across a number of Xbox's first-party studios. With those layoffs have come great cancellation reveals for titles such as Everwild and Perfect Dark. But if you were worried about the latest games shown from Xbox being shut down, that's reportedly not the case right now. According to multiple reports, the games that were shown as part of the Xbox Games Showcase in June are safe. The information comes from numerous reporters along with Xbox Game Studio head Matt Booty's internal memo to the company. Oh, he's talking about last month's showcase. Yeah, people were talking about what was it, a Bandai Namco showcase today? I don't know. I didn't even know that was a thing. Then I saw Vera Dark was streaming it, and I'm like, I just don't know, don't care. In our time, we only play Need for Speed games like Most Wanted, Underground, and Carbon. Need for Speed was fun. Not gonna lie, the Need for Speed games were pretty cool. I remember having a lot of fun with those on my GameCube. Xbox currently has... Dude, none of these people freaking, check for typos. Xbox currently has, put an H there, more than 40 games in active development across its studios. I'm not kidding about the editors. These people are retarded. They straight up are retarded or just lazy. I don't know which one it is. There's a ton of games off the showcase that weren't a part of the stream. I mean, here's the thing, Smeg. You're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about having 4 great games instead of 40 garbage games, because there are plenty, like, hey, Slots, how's it going over on Rumble? There are plenty of other games available. If you're going to play games on PC, you've got Steam, you've got GOG, you've got Epic if you dare to go to Epic, and at least you get free games from Epic, right? So in that respect, there are plenty of options for AA games, for indie games, for things that are not your conventional triple or quadruple A games, okay? And that's the thing about this Perfect Dark thing we're going to get into. They were marketing Perfect Dark Studio as their first quadruple A studio, okay? Yeah, they don't use AI to fix their grammar. No, they're bad at grammar on their own. It says our overall portfolio strategy is unchanged. Build games that excite our players. They don't even know what that means. Continue to grow our biggest franchises or kill them. And create new stories, worlds, and characters. Booty's memo to Xbox staff said, we have more than 40 projects, continued momentum on titles shipping this fall, and a strong slate headed into 2026. What, Fable? Is Fable part of your strong slate? Come on. Despite claims from Xbox itself that its recently shown games are safe, it's worth mentioning that Perfect Dark was shown during 2024's Game Showcase. The game, along with the closure of its developer, The Initiative, were part of the round of layoffs. Yes, exactly. And we're going to get into more of that in a minute. Of course, we had Everwild being canceled at Xbox lays off rare employees. But what's even crazier is apparently Greg, is this Malice or Males, director of Banjo-Kazooie and Sea of Thieves, has left Rare after 35 years with the company. 320 games on my Epic account, paid nothing. I think I'm in the same boat, Joe. I've got a couple hundred in my library that I've never, ever purchased. Big issue nowadays, games released on date, but nobody talks about that game. That's true. That's another big issue. Sarah Bond will be the next CEO of Microsoft Gaming. She has a telecom background and is current president of Xbox Gaming, failing upwards because of her skin color. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Forgot that she's a black woman. Not that that matters, to be honest, other than the fact that it's like, you don't traditionally see a lot of black women, well, let's be fair, other than what we've seen the past couple of years with like the pushing it as far as like a diversity quota thing. You don't really see it in gaming companies as far as like executives and stuff. Yeah, quadruple A studio game brings you Skull and Bones. Exactly. The first quadruple A game, and it's a dead game. Hey, let's check in real quick on Stop Killing Games. Let's see how many signatures we're up to now. I'm curious. I feel like we could hit 1 million before I'm done tonight. I don't know. I know it's different time zone over in the EU right now. Okay, we're up to 915,000. Sweet Baby Inc. Yeah. Some bangers on the account, but a lot of junk. Agreed, dude. There are some. I got copies of games on Epic that I didn't realize I already or I bought on Steam that I didn't realize I already got for free on Epic. Games that are good games, right? And I just didn't realize I already had a free copy on Epic. It's the craziest thing. And then, of course, the UK petition is still climbing, 118,000. The UK one will be interesting because their parliament, I don't know how they're going to feel about this right now with the way that their current government is set up. I'm not saying you're entirely wrong. NASDAQ and the SEC required that quota nonsense. That's no longer the case today. Isn't that 4,000 more than when we started? I think so. Maybe it was like 116 when we started. Xbox doesn't seem to be keeping up the feeling of prestige for future titles. Nintendo does, but too extreme. Yeah. No, honestly, the thing for me personally is, like I said, I've used Game Pass for a while. I think right now Game Pass is in a better position to offer better products than they have. Like the beginning of this year, I was looking at Game Pass going, I don't know if I'm going to continue paying for this because there's not a lot of games on it currently that I want to play. Then for a few months, there was like banger after banger came out on Game Pass. And I'm like, okay, Game Pass is back to the best value as far as like a subscription service that you can pay for out of all of them. Is it going to stay that way permanently? Is it always going to have the best games? Probably not. You know, who knows? Jasmine Brooks, if you're a bot or if you're trying to sell me something, then no, I'm not going to be interested, but feel free to share if you want. Was just over 900,000 4 hours ago. Last week or so, it was at 500,000. Dude, honestly, Smeg, it's going to hit 1 million overnight. I'm going to wake up in the morning and it's going to be over 1 million signatures. I have complete faith in that. I for some weird reason, I've got faith in the EU, which is never been something I would ever say before. Where's my representation of an Eastern European white girl with blue eyes? Where, well, you saw that first Berserker's getting a female warrior update, right? Oh God, you got your mom signing it. That's awesome. Hey, you don't have to be a gamer to sign it. You did. You DM'd me about getting Microsoft points easily. But right now, because of Keymailer, I'm getting my Game Pass for free once a month, as long as they... It's up to Xbox to review it, to look at my account and my content and say whether or not they want to keep giving me a free key each month. So I'm gonna criticize them. No, Jasmine, I don't want overlay stuff, please. I'm good, thank you. As long as, you know, Xbox doesn't react too harshly to me criticizing the hell out of them, which I'm going to do because screw it, why not? I won't have to pay for Game Pass for another month or two. I don't know how long they're going to keep offering it. Look, if they're cutting employees, but they're giving out free subscriptions of Game Pass through Keymailer to content creators, it's kind of ironic in my opinion. I don't know. Only Kojima gives the representation of white women. Yeah, doesn't he have a fixation on Western, like Hollywood or whatever? Oh, the new Running Man trailer looks like garbage. I don't know what the hell that shit was. Refuse to use Game Pass, that bloatware POS. I even hate it with a passion. I delete anything Xbox related on my Windows PC. I don't blame you, Smeg. For me, it's just the convenient side of it. It's because like my kids have an Xbox. I got my son's computer, my computer, and with one subscription, it covers all of us. I mean, it's... But yeah, that Running Man trailer was complete ass, you know? It looked terrible. Let me see here. So first reported by VGC, Mail's departure comes as Xbox cancel Rare's in development action game Everwild. But again, Everwild, 10 years in development, right? In addition to Mail's, VGC reports that executive producer Luis O'Connor is also leaving the studio. So we're having kind of a situation that we have with Mind's Eye before they release their new game, where all their executives were leaving as well. Kojima's the reverse Tarantino. You're confused why there's a female Kazan? I don't know the actual lore of Kazan. Here's the thing. People have been asking that question too, because we talked about it on the stream last week. Like, okay, but with the lore of the first Berserker character, it wouldn't make sense if you have a female version. I don't know. I know nothing about the character other than the game. So I don't know the explanation for that. I think first Berserker, isn't that Nexon? I have a feeling that's them trying to like jump in on the train of, you know, having a hot woman protagonist, you know? They've just got to make the family mix, didn't they? Yeah, didn't he have a black girlfriend in that trailer? I can't remember. Oh my god. Jasmine, can I mute you from... I can't mute you from Streamlabs. Damn it. Oh well, this is why Twitch is ass. All you get on Twitch is a bunch of people trying to sell you bot viewers and sell you overlays and shit you don't need. A DIE came from 2009 or sooner, I remember, with a bunch of anti-whites complaining about there being white people in movies. Yeah, that was really... It was prior to the first Gamergate kicking off, is really when you had a lot of people writing literature and books and movies about why whiteness is bad and evil. And that's kind of what caused the whole Gamergate 1 thing. I mean, Gamergate 1, again, was about ethics and journalism, but it's because all these journalists all hated white people. And people started to notice, like, these trends in gaming and in media. Just turn off Twitch. I already have it. You guys can't see Jasmine because she's a bot on Twitch, or she's a artist that's trying to sell me shit. Here's the thing, guys. I pay to multi-stream through Streamlabs, so I can stream to as many platforms as I want. So I'm going to stream there until they freaking ban me. Okay? That's just what I'm going to do from now on. I used to be like, well, I'm only going to use Twitch for gaming. I don't want to get political on there. Screw it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit. We're gonna do. I'm on Kick right now. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Rumble. I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube. We're everywhere right now. And if a platform has issues with anything we talk about here or whatever, that platform can just remove me. I don't care. Gamergate 1's purpose to end gamer identity. Yeah, because again, gamer was a bad word, right? You were perfectly fine with the male Kazan, so you were like, what? No, Empress, I think it was just the fact that they're trying to cash in on the hot woman protagonist. Look at the success of Stellar Blade. They're looking at that going, okay, we need to boost our sales, you know? Oh my god. This Jasmine character on Twitch is still trying to sell me shit. Good God, it's almost worth opening up a tab on Twitch just to banner. Oh, I can open up Twitch on my phone. Holy shit. Guys, my brain is completely broken. Like, I'm legit retarded right now. Why did I not think about this? Oh my God. Where's my stream at? Stream manager. No, I don't want stream manager. I just want to ban this person. Damn you! Damn you, Jasmine! This is like when I had that weirdo on Kick that one time that was saying weird shit and we had to ban him. Get that money, honey. It's not even about money. It's just one of those things. I have Twitch, and so I'm just like, hey, I'm just gonna stream there too. Just travel back to the UK for family, and God, it's woke as shit. Yeah. You prefer a hot guy, but you're a woman. Stellar Blade isn't for me. I don't know. I can't get into a character with female protagonists for RPGs. And look, Slots, here's the thing. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. People don't have to respect your opinion. People don't have to agree with your opinion. But you're entitled to your opinion. If you don't want to play a game with a female protagonist, that's okay. Like I've said before, I tend to play male characters in games. If a character has a female protagonist, but I like the character, I'll play the game. You know? Oh, Ghost of Tsushima Legends? Mari, you'd be so ashamed of me. I have not opened Ghost of Tsushima since the last time I streamed it, okay? That's just, you know, it is what it is. Get as much exposure as possible. Well, yeah, and like I said, dude, I started streaming on Twitch before I'd ever made YouTube content, before I ever streamed on YouTube, and I was just streaming games or just staying up every night, 3-4 hours a night, trying to make something out of, you know, my Twitch channel. I managed to get to 200 followers on Twitch, and I'm like, okay, yay, we made it, we did it, right? And it's like, dude, I don't know. I need to fix the YouTube delay. I am the only person I know that is so retarded that they can't figure out how to do redirects on YouTube and how to frickin' adjust the stream delay time.
It is like this tangible thing that you can point to and say, hey man, I love you.
Oh, for real, Lugia, for real.
I'm glad that Perfect Dark is not coming out. I would rather have this game on the vault than Bosch version of that character.
Yeah, no, Lugia, you're 100% correct. Kotaku finally got sold completely. You missed the news. Well, Slots, we're going to go over that too, buddy. Lugia, thanks again for the 5, dude. You are always supporting. You are always here. I appreciate the hell out of you, man. I couldn't do this shit without you. You guys are awesome. So, much thanks for the 5 from Lugia again. But yeah, no, I'm actually really happy that, again, I don't have personal connection to Perfect Dark. Like I said, I tried getting into the game after the fact. I just couldn't get into it, whatever. But it's one of these games that you're seeing that, oh, we're going to reboot it. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you mean Bosch as in the character that Leia on Return of the Jedi dressed up as with the mask and all that? The retardation is what keeps us watching you. It's not an Which game are we talking about? It's not an RPG. Are we talking about Stellar Blade? I mean, it's kind of an action RPG, isn't it? What am I hearing? Here, hang on a second, guys. That's a first. That's a first. My daughter decided to be funny to fake throwing up, and I'm hearing it from the other room, and I'm like, I run in there like, babe, come here, someone's puking, and I open the door, and she's like laughing. I'm like, okay, really? God. Have children's, they say. It'll be fun, they say. Oh my God. Yeah, the man jaw. No, when you say Bosch, I'm thinking of the character that she dresses up as on Return of the Jedi. I don't know what to do. I've never trying to mess with Ian. Well, I'm hearing it out here. I'm over here talking, reading chat, and I hear her going and then coughing, and I'm like, it sounded like legitimately like she was puking. Well, she's messing with me. Ultra low latency. It's Streamlabs, not you. Oh, okay, I'll check the Streamlabs settings then. Well, because my main stream source is going to Streamlabs or to YouTube, so it's probably that because that's the main one. That's probably it. That would make sense now. See, you learn something new every day. We're out of what? Oh, they lost. Well, our town is no longer in the tournament for baseball. That's sad. Oh, really? Not again. That poor boy. Tell her don't ever do that. Yes, I didn't feel like yelling, but yeah, troll daughter W. No, not a W. Not a W at all. Okay, so my daughter takes after me a little too much. She's got that ornery, sassy, obnoxious personality, but this is that kind of shit. I'm like, no, you can't do this. Like, no. No, I have so much PTSD from children throwing up on a bunk bed, and it's like, I can't. Please don't. Like, I can't be cleaning vomit out of your carpet at like, 10 o'clock at night anymore. So they haven't digested what's going on yet, still emotional about it. Yeah, no, it's unfortunate, like I said, with all the layoffs, I'm not over here dancing on people's graves at this point. But when you hear about how like they've spent 9 years developing a game and there's nothing there, I'm sorry, you're not entitled to a job if you can't produce anything. So here's another one from Rebs Gaming. Halo Studios was affected by the Microsoft Xbox layoffs. No shit, Sherlock. Did you guys see? Oh my god, I gotta find this. Hang on a second. This is the best thing ever. Where was this at? Disability. Yeah, here we go. Warner usually associates with old, although you did. I am not 40. Damn you. I have 1 year left. I'm not 40 yet. Don't deny me this. I have 1 year left in my 30s. Oh, I didn't realize that Park Place covered this. Okay, there you go. There you go. Let me see. Crap, I can't remember where my previous tab was. All right, here we go. Let me go back to the screen. In Western game studio philosophy, you're replaceable from your job even if you produce a good or bad product. Well, that's pretty fair. Your last gaming hardware purchase was a Steam Deck? Dude, I have thought about it, but I'm not big into mobile gaming. If I'm gonna take the time to play a game, it's usually after my entire day is done and I can sit down on my computer and do it. Old as coal. Damn you. That's brutal. Okay, so you want to talk about this. You got these Xbox layoffs, right? Many of Xbox's subsidiaries are getting hit by the layoffs this morning, including Call of Duty studios such as Raven, big cuts at Forza. This person here, Megatron Deathray, who has a Blue Sky account, of course, says, I was let go from Halo Studios. Sucks. And then you got Justin Cagle, ex-quality analyst. Okay, if you're a quality analyst for Microsoft and Halo Studios, you're doing a terrible job because Halo is in the worst situation it's been in ever. Like, I really wanted my skin passes for 25. I'll take that as a compliment. I've got crow's feet for days when I smile. Today's my last day at Xbox and Halo Studios. Working on the Halo franchise has been a dream come true, both as a fan and as someone who's passionate about building great experiences. I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity and especially for the amazing people I've had the chance to work alongside. As I look ahead, I'm excited to continue growing as a software developer while also staying open to roles where I can bring my background and quality to the table. If you're hiring, collaborating, or just want to connect, I'd love to hear from you. So, again, a lot of the people they seem to be firing are probably... Well, this is actually a UI artist, visual designer. Seeking a new role, would appreciate your support. If you hear of any opportunities or want to catch up, please send me a message. So, they're letting go a lot of people, all right? Recently, they just put this shit out on their social media, okay? Jasmine... I don't usually curse very much on stream, but I'm gonna tell you to F off in 4 letters if you don't just please piss off. You're the only person even watching my Twitch stream. I don't want your shit that you're trying to sell me. Please go away. Please go away. Oh, it gets better, Cage. I discovered some today that I'm gonna show you guys that are pretty interesting. Hey, Sam Jackson. See, YouTube, Rumble, occasionally Kick. Geekhazu was over on Kick for a minute. Twitter streams suck. Again, the only reason I stream to Twitter is because of the fact that I can, and I don't think it detracts from any of my YouTube views, so it's whatever. Asians dude's last name was Ramos. Have you guys seen that meme? It says something about how Filipinos are somehow the most ethnically confusing people on the planet because they have names like Ching Chong Rodriguez. And I've known freaking Filipino people, and that's exactly it. It's like they look Asian and Hispanic at the same time. It's the most confusing thing. Don't understand why these devs have to give out sad stories on Blue Sky. They need to get over it and move on. They know what they're in for. I know, dude. I know. Hey, Hook. Got laid off 2 months ago, so they let me go. The guy who builds all the infra and OS builds but kept the monkeys. Damn. Yeah, the Twitter interface is terrible. All right, so Halo switches in-game cosmetics from Pride Month to Disability Pride Month as soon as June ends. I tweeted this out. I'm like, yay, so now we have Retard Pride Month. Yay, great job, you know. This is the kind of shit they're doing, guys. Disability Pride Month. So Halo was affected, and then here's more information from Engadget, who spoke to a Halo Studios developer. At least 5 employees were laid off. They received an invite to a meeting with organization leaders, and 2 very long hours later, the Teams call began. The mood at the studio is tense, especially when it comes to one project that was recently in crisis, according to the developer. I don't think anybody is really happy about the quality of the product right now, they said. There's been a lot of tension and pep talks trying to rally folks to ship. Since 2023, there's been a general shift toward working with contracted studios rather than individual contractors in the United States and in Europe to speed up Halo production. The developer says Microsoft is trying their damnedest to replace as many jobs as they can with AI agents. I mean, I'm not shocked at this point. I'm really not. Infinite game months. When they all cause a problem, when they call because a problem arises, make sure you build them triple. Yeah, exactly. I don't know that I would actually post about me needing work. No, it kind of reeks of desperation. Here's one thing though. Most of these people are posting it on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is about connecting for networking and jobs and everything else. So I understand when somebody says I'm available for work and they say it on LinkedIn. I kind of get it. On your main platform for the chat show, just choose Twitch so you can block them from Streamlabs, then just use the multi-stream tab for chat. Dude, that's like way too complicated for me, man. I'm sorry. But I appreciate the help, Chief. I really do. I'm gonna fix that latency thing though before the next stream. I'll take care of that. Because who's reading that doesn't already know me? Yeah. Many years ago, one guy told me that one day that they will turn Pride Day into Pride Year. We're getting closer. Dude, honestly, it used to be Pride Day, then it was Pride Week, then it's Pride Month, and then Pride Month still has a Pride-specific day. It's the craziest shit. They won't. I know that because they are having issues. Interesting. LinkedIn is also a SHRM-DEI core. Yeah, LinkedIn is almost like as bad as Blue Sky. It's really just freaking, left-wing loser pity party, central. It's pretty pathetic. So Rebs Gaming says, I guess my report about replacing Steve Downs and Jen Taylor with AI is definitely true. Apparently they're trying to replace the Master Chief and Cortana actors with AI actors. That kind of sucks, but it's just kind of the way things have been going. Stop killing games. I have one suggestion. Why don't you buy games? Why don't you don't buy and consider to get a better device that's capable to handle the game performance? Also think your budget. You're risking your money to get new phone or console or games. I mean, considering your budget and what you, that's never a bad thing, honestly. The problem is that buying games these days, there are so many games that are no longer being offered physically. There are games, again, like that we've seen that have been distributed only digitally where you can't buy a physical copy, or at least it's incredibly hard to get a physical copy. It's unfortunately, people have been conditioned to expect to only buy digital games. I'm not saying it's right, but most people don't buy physical. I put my disk drive back in my computer just off the off chance that I actually buy a physical copy of a game, because we all do this whole thing where it's like, oh, Steam has their summer sale, they've got all these games available. But at least with Steam, you have this illusion that you own your games, I'd replace Downs 2 sounds a bit There's so many games I can't play because I'm playing too many. Yeah. Oh my god, this Jasmine chick is still going on Twitch. Holy shit. Oh man. One day if your kids get into anime, are you gonna put anime on the blacklist of anime? They're too mature, kids like they're featuring kids characters, but it's too dark for kids audience. I think it's okay, dude. Mahendra, anything that you're gonna be willing to show your kids or let your kids watch, as a parent, it's your job to decide what is or is not too mature, too dark, too whatever for them. That's it. Just it's a case by case basis. Huge backlog, and it's getting bigger. Oh, Mahendra, I checked out that game that we were talking about. That was like the Indian Doom or whatever. I got some video footage recorded for the next time I do a video. It's actually not bad. It's a roguelike survival type or whatever. It's pretty good. Yeah, massive backlog. So Legacy Killer says Halo developer can't speak apparently. Halo developer says Microsoft is trying their damnedest to replace as many jobs as they can with AI agents. How does one trust this company moving forward? Well, you can't. This all sounds horrible, and it sounds like every studio is being run into the ground. Great Xbox leadership. Then you get into the people that were let go. Instead of supporting Stop Killing Games, stop being poor, and instead develop the multi-million game yourself. I mean, that would be the not easy answer, to be fair. Unfortunately, most people can't do that. We all know that Jasmine's a 58-year-old Indian dude. Probably. So you have this person here, Autumn Rose Taylor, looking for work. And of course, I think this person also has their Blue Sky in their bio. No, but they've got she, they, brand manager, games marketing, previously at Bethesda. So I was just hit with the unfortunate news that my time at Bethesda has come to an end. I'm endlessly grateful for the opportunity to work on such incredible titles. So again, they're firing off brand managers, community managers, social media people. This dude, Kirsten Von Doom. My contract was not renewed and my role as the social and digital marketing manager for Xbox Canada is no more. With that being said, I'm looking for social and community roles as well as in-studio production. I'm ideally looking for remote roles in anything within Toronto. So here's Kirsten right here at Microsoft Canada, right? Xbox Canada. This person's interesting. So Kirsten is the CEO of We Are Minnow. We Are Minnow is all about uplifting and inspiring diverse talent across the video game industry. And of course, he's got like podcasts with people about diversity shit and whatnot. Basically what you come to expect at this point from a community manager, digital marketing manager, etc., etc. Saw so many stolen art assets on Fiverr for Fiverr artists. Oh, for real. You're trying to keep it in balance. That's the hardest part. I'm still here just getting ready to go out with the puppies and then stream Tainted Grail. Oh, dude, don't even remind me. That's another one. That's another one that I freaking wish I had picked up at some point, but I'm never going to get around to it because I just don't have time. Well, community managers are really the worst. That I've seen, like, there are people who are like quality assurance testers, and clearly they're bad at their jobs because a lot of these games suck ass. Yeah, useless people in the game industry. Community roles equals 0 talent, waste of money, snack breaks. Oh, man. Why does she want remote rules? I don't know. Let's see here. So here's from Chris Avalon. Here's a really interesting one, because this is the dude who was previously, part of Fallout 2, Fallout New Vegas, Dying Light, X Bloodlines 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, and Jedi Fallen Order. Dude has been all over the place, like telling people to sue companies that fire them based on diversity initiatives and stuff. So I don't know too much about him as far as like as a person, but he seems relatively normal, not like an unhinged lunatic. Saying, sending good thoughts to those affected by the bizarre Microsoft layoffs and hope you find new jobs soon. As for mouthpieces like Jez Corden and Chloe Brill, don't know who that is, another Xbox insider, that thrive like remoras on the underbelly of Xbox news, you two can F right off, you pathetic shills. For the record, and as a showcase of their integrity, both were staunch supporters of various Xbox titles that were clearly in trouble, but then did everything they could to spin and bury any trace of bad news, one example avowed. Just tell the truth, being a mouthpiece won't save you when the rest of the body dies. I think that's actually a fair amount of criticism. If you're going to be like this and again, if you're going to be like these Jez Corden guys and live for like these insider, info and everything else, and you're going to just praise Xbox because you're trying to get like all those first looks at things, you still have to be honest as a media personality, as somebody who's supposed to be a journalist or an insider, and tell people the truth, right? Qualification is far more important than what we look like. DEI hire doesn't make sense. It doesn't. It never makes sense. Yeah, Avowed was garbage. I still won't even play Avowed. Yeah, see, Empress is a lot better about streaming games than I am. I might stream a game once a week. We'll even see. I don't know. Maybe not. Depends on if I have time. I'll have more time now, as long as work permits me to do it, so. Moral clause, code of conduct, and more at play that would have been in their contracts. Yeah. They're just enforcing the contracts. Not that this is about that exactly. Let me see here. So now we're getting to Perfect Dark. Here's the best one. Perfect Dark. We talked about that other game. What's it called? From ZeniMax. What was the name of that game? Shit, I can't remember. Everwild. That's been in development for 10 years and hasn't gotten anywhere. Okay. Now we're back up to Perfect Dark. This is the best thing ever. This is the funniest shit ever. Because there's a lot of pieces to Perfect Dark that are worth talking about and criticizing. From Ryan McCaffrey, says Perfect Dark was the best demo at Xbox's best showcase ever last year. I refuse to believe this is a creative decision. I have to imagine it was a financial one given how much time and money has gone into it and how much more it needed. Embarrassing for Xbox in my honest opinion. All right. Okay. If you praise Xbox, they just probably wouldn't wanted to get Game Pass early. I mean, yeah, who knows? You just saw a notification on chat? For what? Oh, about Mari. Yeah. No, she's been here for a while. Oh, I think she showed up when you were gone. Perfect Dark went too dark. Yeah, that jaw. Dude, that damn jaw. And the funniest part was we heard about how this jaw was just a figment of everyone's imagination. Hey, 8-Bit Eric, I'm having a pretty all right night. Oh, is that what that notification was? Dude, he dumped. Oh, man. I'm sorry, man. I didn't see that I got a notification that you guys were dropping in. It's not an art project, it's a product. Dude, thanks for the raid. Appreciate you, man. You have a good night, buddy. Yeah, it's Brock Lesnar. That chick can take a punch. She could probably take a punch better than Ironheart. Have you guys seen the shit from that show Ironheart, where she gets attacked by members of her gang, and they literally like do a Waffle House brawl on her ass, and she's like 4 feet tall. Okay, out of her suit, she has no body mass whatsoever. And this big butch lesbian chick beats the crap out of her, and not a single drop of blood coming off that woman. It is absolutely awful. I'm like, dude, this is the most garbage show I've ever seen. And I'm not watching it. I've been watching Kata's reviews on it because I'm like, his reviews are so much better. I'm not subjecting myself to that shit. I decided against it. So, best demo at Xbox best showcase ever. All right. So you have people like this Cammy guy. I've seen him around. He's kind of a shill. Saying the initiative was formed in 2018 as Microsoft's first quadruple A studio. This was the origin of the quadruple A meme, I believe. No, the origin of that was, again, Ubisoft with Skull and Bones. I had never heard about quadruple A before Skull and Bones came out. Today, their debut title, Perfect Dark, was canceled and the studio is closing down. This was our only look at gameplay at Xbox's Game Showcase in 2024. All right, I'm going to go ahead and restart this. We'll watch this 49 seconds because I don't think I've ever even seen this before, to be honest. Let me make sure the volume's not too loud here. You thought it was a movie? Yeah. No, it's a show, 6 episodes.
To lose everything before I could see. What this world was really hiding.
Looks generic,
I
yeah.
hope you're ready, Agent Dark.
Are you all seeing this?
Once you open this door, there's no going back.
All right, so that's the best demo from the best showcase that Xbox has ever had, according to that Ryan McCaffrey guy, okay? Then you got Synth Potato, who, like I've said before, I sometimes agree with this guy, but he seems to be a bit of a shill. But he gets early access to things, so typically what happens is when you get early access, you kind of find yourself shilling for people. Whatever. It's just what happens, right? Rest in peace, Perfect Dark. Xbox has officially canceled Perfect Dark and shut down the Initiative Studio. Gameplay trailer from last year looked awesome with almost Dishonored-esque level design and variety. Xbox is such a mess. Again, I don't watch this and go, wow, this is amazing. Okay, it just looks like it's marketing noise, yeah. Her transition times are worse than mine. Oh man. Yeah, PT demo was something else for sure. All right. Then you see this one here from VGT Gaming News. Perfect Dark looked so good the last time we saw it. This trailer really had us excited. A lot of talented people lost their jobs and it sucks. I didn't see this trailer. I don't know where I've been the last year. How did I not see this? This is Scalebound all over again. I don't remember Scalebound.
Welcome to Garden City, where it's a pleasant 23 degrees
You thought it looked
all
cool?
day, every day.
Yeah, that game trailer didn't do anything for you. I mean, that little clip I saw didn't do anything for me.
Local forces are also tracking his whereabouts. You need to find him before they do.
I'll have to improve.
You know what I would say? After playing Atomic Heart and not finishing it again, not even getting close to finishing it, I would rather go back and play Atomic Heart based on the way this looks than play this. Yeah, they all shill at some point.
Voice print.
Looks like Cyberpunk. A little bit, yeah.
What readings are you getting?
We are getting odd readings from your monitor. Can you confirm?
Why do the graphics look so damn bland? Oh, we're gonna get into that in a minute. The only Atomic Heart is the she went target to target in like 2 seconds. She's never won a USPSA shooting match. Guys, we're gonna talk about this in a second as to why everything looks kind of odd, okay? Even though it's the trailer and the best demo we've ever seen, right? All right, Mari, have a good night. Thanks for dropping by. I really appreciate it. I know you're always busy, but I appreciate you stopping in here.
I'm looking at the screen right
We'll
now.
talk about why it looks the way it looks in a minute. Yeah, this is from last year.
This is Carrington on the second floor.
There's been no update on this game for like a year, I think.
On the life we think we know turns out to be a lie. There's only one way forward.
Another minute and a half on this.
Find the truth.
Okay, so this must be the extended trailer of the clip that we saw.
Carrington! Damn it! Analyze. What am I looking at here?
Carrington appears to be targeting a
Oh, hey, Rabnat, how you doing, buddy? Everything will be made with AI soon because of demands and supply of games. I think so, but to be honest, like we said before, there are so many other games between indie and AA. We don't need 50 new AAA games a year. We don't need 100 new AAA games a year. If you just focused on a couple big ass titles and made really great games that were worth the money, worth the price tag you put on them, people would be fine with it. People would be happy with it, you know?
research facility. If he attacks it, the casualties could be astronomical.
Agent Stark, it's a pleasure to meet you. I could use someone with your skills.
You remember Amandra? Yeah, I don't think I ever saw this. Alright, yeah, this is just the rest of the clip that we saw here. Alright. So that was the first part of the trailer there. Alright. So the reason I even bring it up, the reason we even watch that at all, I think people would be fine if it was human made, not AI made. Well, that too, but here's the thing. Yeah, like Susano said, I don't think AI can actually make games, right? What we've seen from AI with what they put into games, and there was actually a bit of a controversy about this last week with that game, The Alters, because of the fact that there was some AI placeholder stuff that was put in the game, and then people got all like butthurt about it, like, oh, you can't have AI in your game? It's a small studio. They put a placeholder in, they're eventually going to patch it out, and the rest of the game is, you know, allegedly like awesome game, kind of like Expedition 33, where they had like a little bit of artwork that was created by AI and then they patched it out. big whoop, you know, no big deal, right? Game copied Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Dying Light looks better, and that's 10 years old. Oh, man. Hey, Private Parts. So, okay. People said Perfect Dark looked so good. You know, best demo from the best showcase ever. All right. You even see the meme here. AAA is a code name for our game sucks and will either be canceled or be a shitty live service that dies after a month. All right. So here is the best part. Kotaku, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Yeah, I haven't played the Ultras yet, but it's on Game Pass, so I might as well check it out at some point if I have time. Kotaku recently revealed that the gameplay demo for the now canceled game Perfect Dark was entirely fabricated. According to Kotaku, the demo, which was released last year, was not based on the actual game and was instead pre-rendered. Okay? So here's the thing, guys. Remember how we just got that tech demo of The Witcher 4, right? And everyone's all like, okay, that's great that you have a tech demo, but what's the actual game gonna look like? We have the exact same situation here. They legitimately created a fake demo for the game and had nothing after 7 years of development to show for it. All right? Yeah, the day before. There you go. So here you go. You've got Furtata. Furtanga. I keep calling him Furtata because his damn username on Twitter. Says, am I hearing this right? Did Perfect Dark not even have a working build this whole time? And apparently there is a Reddit thread. This guy says, I found this. It looks like it was fake gameplay. Perfect Dark's 2024 showing was apparently basically fake and largely bunk with no real gameplay. Let me see here. I think this next one here has the post. Okay, so you see this person here that says, now that Perfect Dark has been canceled, I can freely say that the public showing last year was largely bunk. None of that was gameplay, and all CD has been doing on the game is making exciting vertical slices with little to no foundation. I am not shocked at all that it got the axe. So, you remember how we were talking about that other game, Everwild, how in 10 years they didn't have a working game? Perfect Dark was started apparently around 2018 in development. 7 years, no working game at all. Okay? No working game. And again, basically like fake and gay, exactly, Slots. Just another one of these, here's what it could look like, but it's not a real game demo. Wasn't a real game, it was a demo, but pre-render, exactly. So once again, fake. Reminds me of the Anthem demo. Frittata Matata. Most trailers are fake. It's an industry trick, even indies do it. That is so slimy. That is beyond slimy. It can look like gameplay, it is in a sense, but it's more like a movie than a game. Yeah. What were they doing in 7 years? I have no idea. That's the craziest thing. So, again, while I say this as I've talked to some developers from studios who got axed, guys who are like environmental artists, and, you know, guys that didn't have anything to do with like woke agendas or any of the crap being injected into games. All they did was they went to work every day and worked on the environmental, you know, the scenes and stuff in these games. And these guys are like, you know, there's nothing we can do. We put our heads down, we work, and that's about the extent of it. And they still get fired too, because at the end of the day, if the game doesn't make money, the studio has layoffs, right? That's the way it works. Well, the problem I have with this is, it's not just the woke weirdos, the community managers, the people, the narrative designers and stuff with these kind of games that are ruining the game. 7 years for a studio full of developers, and they didn't have a game? There's nothing to show for it? Like, how can you spend 7 years getting paid to do nothing and have absolutely nothing to show for your time? I don't get it. I have no idea. Sounds about right. We have DEI developers making fake games, fake developers, fake work being done. Dude, it's so insane. It is absolutely insane. Like, I don't understand how we're at a point now where people are straight up getting paid not to work. You know? Yeah, Cage, I'm gonna have to look that up, dude. I don't know. I don't know if I'd have time for paid playtests, to be honest. I have no idea. Fake trailers usually say subject to change or some tagline. A lot of the time it's used to gauge reaction. Right, but I don't think it did. I don't think it actually had that on there. I don't, because a lot of people were saying it was the best demo they'd seen, right? Full studio, more like folded studio. Yeah, Expedition 33 is the standard that all are going to be judged against, 5 years, including setting up their studio, learning to code with 33 people. Dude, you're not wrong. And there are indie games, indie studios that have far less people that are putting out better games in a shorter time span with no money compared to some of these AAA studios. It's absolutely insane, dude. Yeah, they effed up somewhere for real. Were they all making a day in the life videos for TikTok? Holy shit, you're probably not wrong about that. Slots on Rumble says if you have a bunch of low skill AI coders that can't do physics, then you aren't getting a climb the pipe featured in the trailer. Yeah, dude, there are so many variables to so much of this stuff. And I've said before, and I'll say it again, I'm not a developer. I don't know how to code. So for me, people would be like, well, you shouldn't criticize this if you don't know how to... No, that's in the same way that's like, if you can't make your own movies or TV shows, you shouldn't criticize Disney Marvel slop that sucks ass. No, you can criticize it because you're the paying customer. You're entitled to criticize it. Interesting, I'm not up to speed on this drama yet. Well, there's a lot, dude. There is so much. Today has been like one thing after another. In fact, let's update, check Stop Killing Games here, see what we're up to now. Stop Killing Games is now up. I'm telling you guys, it's gonna hit 1 million signatures overnight. I'm gonna wake up in the morning and this thing is gonna be over 1 million signatures. There's just no doubt about it. We're also starting to get single A or indie studios that raise more money than some AA games. As long as the money doesn't become, I don't know, problematic, if that's the right word for it. I love the idea that you have indie developers with small budgets, with small teams, or even AA studios, not necessarily indie, that can create something over the course of a short span. Let's just say, I'd say 3 to 5 years compared to AAA is short. 3 to 5 years. That is a better experience for a lower price tag. And then they get rewarded for it because they make all that money back. I mean, look, freaking Stellar Blade. I mean, okay, prime example. I think Phasmophobia has sold over 20 or 25 million copies. Granted, it was like a $20 game when it first launched, and they've done a shitload of updates for that game. But it came out a few years ago. 20 million copies for an indie studio? I mean, that's pretty damn good, right? The money's the drug, yeah. That's the only thing I'd worry about. Only thing I'm sped on is the SKG shit and Pirate Software because he DMC'd my indie game. Oh, Private Parts, was that your game? Are you the one that made the game that had his like sampled his voice and stuff for the game? That's funny if that was your game. Yeah, I think I covered that in my my video talking about it. Star Citizen. Said shit to Pirate Softcock. Pirate Softcock. I'm gonna have to remember that one. Yeah, no, honestly, money, I've said before, I'll say it again. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil, you know? The roach. If a famous chef makes something and I don't like the taste, I'm allowed to say I didn't like it. Right, exactly. 100%. Idle streaming bonanza. You know, I'd never even... I don't think I even saw the game itself. I saw other content creators had covered this. To Private Parts, the thing about the whole Pirate Software thing is I hadn't even paid much attention other than the Asmongold roaching thing back in January when, again, he noped out and left his buddies high and dry. And a couple other things. I had heard about him DMCAing somebody's game. I had never seen anything really covered. You know, I watch a lot of content creators who cover some of this stuff. I'd never seen anything specifically about that. Ross is a shrewd dude. He kept that Pirate Software stuff in his back pocket to propel the initiative. I mean, dude, okay. I was explaining some of this to my wife about what's going on with the Stop Killing Games initiative and Pirate Software and all these other variables and stuff going on. And I'm like, you know, somebody floated it out there. I think it was the Act Man who said that he thinks Pirate Software might be positioning himself as the villain to try to give everyone like a common enemy to help boost the petition. I don't think so. Yeah, Private Parts, if you want to send me a key, dude, I'll totally check it out. I don't know anything about the game, so I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I'm going to love it, because I don't know what type of game it is, but I'll certainly check it out. 120. Well, that's because 8-Bit Eric rated the stream. We were doing okay. We were doing just fine on views. I don't try to keep track of it, you know. He is the villain. Yeah. Let's see. He can claim that, but no one will buy it. I mean, I think so too, Will Ferris, to be honest. Not Act Man. Which way is the wind blowing today? Dude, Smeg, I swear to God, I have seen... I put it in my video, him talking about how... Well, you know... Dude, okay, first off, while we're talking about Pirate Software, what is with the Howard Stern impersonation? Like, I'm not crazy, right? The dude truly tries... He kind of talks like he's Howard Stern. He gets his voice all deep and he's just... I don't know. It's just the weirdest thing. He has the long hair like Howard Stern. It just... I get, like, the vibe that he's trying to model himself after him. Actman's a fake plastic bag himself. He would know. Yeah, I'm not saying that because I'm a fan. To be honest, other than a few online interactions I've seen between some of the content creators and Actman, I watched... Decembro shared somebody's video covering the Actman, and this guy, I cannot remember the name of his channel. I don't know if I subbed or not after the video. He had like a 40-minute video going over the Actman's inconsistencies and flip-flopping over the years, and it was a pretty damn good video. I think it was a British guy or an Australian guy, I can't remember. It's a shitty meme idle game you don't have to say anything about. Ah, fair enough. Totally fair enough. You've seen vids of him out in the wild, his pitch is way higher. It's the Spider-Man meme in a sense. All right. Ross delayed talking about the PS because he didn't want to do drama content. He was talking to politicians and companies and thinks drama will turn those away. I mean, that's, to be fair, it's not bad. Why don't you guys help promote indie games and not AAA games? Hey, that's the best part. Oh, cool. I'll check my Twitter in a second, dude. You can ask anybody in the chat. When I had more time, I actually was streaming indie games every single week. So I'm trying, dude. I'm trying to promote indie games. I've streamed a lot of indie games on the channel. I've used indie games when I actually have time to record them. I'll use my own video game footage for some of my videos I do. So I'm trying my best, dude. I wouldn't say I mostly play indies, but I play a lot of indies. I'd say it's 50-50. As far as like what I stream on the channel, I try to promote smaller studios and indies as much as I can. Some of you guys are far better about it than I am. Although some of my favorite games are indie games. Actually, that freaking Starship Troopers Extermination is awesome, and I haven't played that game in months, dude. Some for chat, because why not? Hey, dude, honest to God, that's super awesome of you, dude. So first up, first served, guys. I see other YouTubers also promote indie horror a lot, and I'm intrigued. Honestly, I think horror is probably one of the best genres for indie games. I mean, like I said, frickin' Phasmophobia, when that game first came out, was phenomenal, and then they updated it so much that when I took like a year off from playing the game, I came back and everything was different. I had no idea what I was getting into. I haven't checked out The Precinct yet. Expedition 33 is technically an indie game. It's just a very successful one. I mean, you could argue that it's more of a AA game, but I don't know. What does it matter? It's still not AAA, you know? Slots on Rumble says 1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Yeah. No, dude, honestly, it's one of those things that having enough money to be comfortable and to be able to take care of your family and stuff is definitely the goal. But it's unfortunate that, you know, so many people, it's all about the money, right? So some kind of throwbacks here about Perfect Dark. Back from last year, a lot of people were covering this. Perfect Dark level designer hates you, calls gamers a mistake. Of course, he's got the gay Nike hoodie. For the last 2 years, I've been working on Perfect Dark, so excited to show off our gameplay reveal. Again, this dude, level designer at Crystal Dynamics on Perfect Dark, Colby Payne, says, 2 years I've been working on Perfect Dark, excited to show off our gameplay reveal, and it wasn't actual gameplay. Oh man, it's crazy what a difference a few months make. Shout out to John Tren and Fandom Pulse. This was back in December. Of course, around February, March is when I split from them too, so that makes sense. Let's see these comments that sparked the controversy. The fact that it's 2021 and gamers still get mad over a character being black boggles my mind. It's time to grow up, you racist pigs. Angraboda looks absolutely stunning. Props to all the devs who worked on her. She's without a doubt the most interesting character. She looks stunning if she wasn't supposed to be a Norse mythological character. So yes, it's a good-looking character, just not for what it is. And adding female protagonists to video games is all it takes to make the worst people you've ever met not want to play them. We should add female protagonists to every game. Yeah. Gamers were a mistake. Seeing a lot of comments turned off for Pride Month posts. I wish all the bigots to kindly F off and learn to love others for who they are. Gaming is for everyone. Everyone except the bigots. Oh my. Yeah, he's just doing all the virtue signaling he possibly can. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. Yeah, that's the one. UK Parliament should debate about SKG by September 8th, possibly before that. Oh, that's pretty awesome to hear. By the way, GOG has open section for free mods on their website. Dude, that's awesome. Hey, Viscermat. Dude, the YouTube Microsoft gamers who ignored the corpo slide of Microsoft are all freaking out. It's pretty interesting. Not saying they're wrong, but they're like 5 years late. Yeah, dude, honestly, here's one of those things. Oh, you've got a link to the EU SKG live without refresh. Very cool of you, dude. Appreciate that. Wow, would you look at that? Dude, 920,000, and it's gonna keep going. That's awesome. All right. Let me see here. The money's never enough. They need more and more and more, and it doesn't stop. The funny thing was, people give Asmongold shit all the time, right? And look, there's plenty you can criticize guys like Asmongold for, and anybody else, because sometimes their opinions just completely suck ass, and sometimes they say something and everyone's like, oh, based, right? But at the end of the day, when he was talking months ago about how much money he makes on ad revenue versus memberships and why he doesn't run ads and all this other stuff, and he showed everyone the number he could be like making an extra $100,000 a month on just ad revenue on Twitch alone or whatever. And someone asked him, well, why don't you have ads then? And he's like, why would I? He's like, at some point, more money is just more money. So there's one thing to be said for having enough money to live your life comfortably, to not be stressed all the time. Everything else, I'm not there. I don't know that I'll ever be there before I'm dead. But at some point, yeah, extra money, you're just chasing more money than you can ever spend. The white mod is funny. Are we talking about for KCD2 or for Expedition 33? Some people, though, the money's never enough. I saw Toei Twitter account posted Pride post. It was Toei US branch who makes Dragon Ball. Oh, God. It's so funny, too, because, like, just like that, June has come and gone, you know? It's just crazy. Asmon's a libertarian, I don't expect more. Yeah, exactly. So, and here's the thing, like I said, I can understand, I can identify as a maybe small L libertarian with more conservative views of the world. But at some point, there are times I'll disagree with, like, strict libertarian ideology, you know? He's just like a normal, albeit weird dude, pretty much. Play Sancticide again. Smeg, I love you. You support the channel. You're always here. You're a hell of a guy. I would do anything for you except play Sancticide again. Okay, guys, that was... You want to talk about ass AI games? Like, dude, that game was complete straight up garbage. One of the worst things I have ever installed on my computer. Libertarians, not anarchists, right? And that's the problem that a lot of times things devolve into, is you've got, you know, small L libertarian, large L libertarian, you know, capital L, and it's like, they're just, there's just different variations on it, right? Do they have an estimate on this? Oh, dude, at the current rate in the last 24 hours, they're estimating 4.2 million signatures by the deadline of July 31st. Holy shit. This is unreal. Like, way to go, Pirate Software. Because of Pirate Software and everyone else reacting to it, this put this on my radar. It put it on Vertenga's radar. It put it on everybody else who hadn't been covering it. This is insane, guys. It's more of an economic than a moral foundation. True. Yep. Someone made her white and the mod got banned. Yeah, you know, it's really funny. This is the problem with Nexus mods above and beyond everything else, is the one-sided enforcement of their policies, and it's complete retarded garbage. Speaking of retarded garbage, let's talk about some more of this stuff with Perfect Dark's developers. So we had the level designer who hates gamers. That's a fun one, right? Then you've got this person here. This is, guys, the best part of this game getting shut down, right? Can I show the map? Yeah, I can bring the map up. Hang on a second. Here is the map. Let's zoom out. So by country, Spain's got 70. Dude, Germany has 195,000 signatures. Poland is not far behind with 101,000, 102,000 almost. Hey, if Empress was still here, she could be pretty proud. Based Bulgaria's got almost 10,000 signatures. Finland and Sweden with pretty respectable numbers. 48,000, 40,000. Even Ireland's showing up over here with 25.8K. The PewDiePie army's at work? No shit. You're disappointed by British people? No, man, dude. Britain is not part of the EU anymore. So check this out. This is the UK petition. All they needed to get this before Parliament was 100,000 signatures, and they're already past that by almost 20,000. German and Polish descent, hell yeah. Easily does well over the 7 countries needed as well as the 1 million signatures. Dude, there's no stopping it, man. There's absolutely no stopping it. To my credit, you learned about this from me. Well, Cage, I learned about this from other people that I watch. So it's kind of a cycle, man. It's a perpetual cycle. Britain's out. But they're not out. They're doing their own thing. They're going to get their own version of it before their parliament. But again, their parliament is... It is what it is. I mean, their country is a mess right now, right? It's a war crime. Not giving Sweden and Finland enough respect. They have less people percentage-wise. Turnout is higher than Germany. That is a great point, Will. That is a fantastic point. You're right. The population is far less dense, and they're turning out in large numbers. That is actually a very good point. He preaches about supporting indie, but he's suing indie, and that's what my actual issue is here. Oh, are you talking about Private Parts game? I don't know. Sorry, Susano. I'm missing half the chat. You guys have been super talkative, which is awesome. But Pirate Softcock. Yeah, I gotta remember to say Pirate Softcock, guys. It's like once you say Neil Cuckman, you'll never say Druckmann ever again. This is like literally like voting for a new president via signatures. That's crazy. I mean, not really. What this is to do is to get the petition recognized as a valid petition before the government, before the EU's council, so that it can then go before them and be presented as, an issue, right? So you're worried about the UK and Europe being erased completely under Islam? Well, I mean, we're doing an okay job now as far as the US goes, but dude, I mean, that's an issue worldwide at this point. Oh, you're talking about Thor, yeah. I was worried about burning bridges, but I don't care with that framing in place. I mean, dude, honestly, he's done as much damage as he possibly could. So, going back to Perfect Dark, the voice actress, I should say, for Joanna Dark, the strong-chinned independent woman, was going to be this Alex Wilton Reagan character, who I've actually talked about on my channel before. She's a complete lunatic, right? She is a complete and utter feminist left-wing lunatic. She posted 7 hours ago, Joanna is resilient, determined, creative, caring, and strong. Agent Dark doesn't give up, and neither should any of you. It's been an honor to work with the talents at the initiative. My heart hurts for everyone affected by today, but like Joanna, we will all rise again. I want to know if Alex has been paid. I want to know if she has done any voice lines in the last 7 years that this game's been in development. Like, okay, Alex, you feel so sorry for these people. Have you recorded any voice lines? Do you have a script? Have you been paid for any of your work? Hey, Anime Mania. Good to see you, buddy. Vote for petition for a new president for Stop Killing Games. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Assassin's Creed Witch Lesbian game. She had a post about that also. Let me see here. She doesn't post on Twitter very often because I'm pretty sure she's on Blue Sky also. Let me see here. Currently raising money. It's just a retweet. Hang on. There was one of these. She was actually in Lies of P Overture, the DLC. So here's the thing. She has a very large portfolio. As an actress, as a voice actress, I'm sure she's quite talented, okay? That being said, she's also a complete lunatic. So you see further down here where she's talking about, let me see, where was this one at? Oh yes, retweeting stuff about Pedro Pascal, saying this is the way with a trans flag. Russell Brand is moving to the right so that when the accusations finally come out, he can claim it's a witch hunt. Retweeting that. Now again, I don't care about Russell Brand. I think he's a lunatic, but whatever. Some stuff about AI, obviously. And then this one here. I would like to see an Alex Wilton Reagan feature because witchcraft and kick-ass free-thinking feminism are my bag. Talking about Assassin's Creed codename Hex, right? And then you had this one here, where she quote tweeted Grumps, and I've not been shy about my distaste for Grumps. But then again, she tries to quote, quote tweet him and ratio him, and she probably did, to be honest. Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed UK, I like what you're doing very, very, very much, in particular the trolling billionaires part. Mother is proud, keep it up. Anybody who unironically calls themselves mother, or calls other grown-ass people mother, and it's not actually your mother, you're a complete freaking lunatic. I'm sorry. This is one of these things that people have done nowadays. I don't know if it's like a Gen Z thing to call everything mother, but when you see these retards online talking about some some actor that they're simping for, and they're like, oh my god, she's so mother, like freaking Lady Gaga or Katy Perry or some dumb shit like that. Oh, this video. Yeah. I remember I used this video talking about, shit, I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, the BAFTA voting for the best games of the year. Dude, look at the fucking crazy eyes on this chick, okay? Look at the crazy eyes on this woman. I mean, I swear to God. This is just, I just paused it, okay? Okay? This is just...
Thank you very much, sir.
Like, holy
You're a
shit.
gentleman and a scholar.
Hey, St. Hugo, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate you, buddy. Slay Queen. Dan Pinko eyes. Just check this shit out.
This is an impossible question to answer, BAFTA, but I will give it my best shot, seeing as you asked so nicely.
Pedro Zaddy.
So, okay, the most influential video games of all time. First, we've got to take it way back to the OGs, right? So you're looking at your, like, Tetris, Pac-Man, Super Mario Brothers. We've all played Super Mario Brothers. Snake. Everyone had Snake on their phone. It was basically Candy Crush for the naughties. Can't forget about Snake. Can't forget about Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. Lara Croft was voted most iconic video game character ever.
Who is this nutter? She is a very popular voice actress. She was going to be the lead in the new Perfect Dark remake. She was playing Joanna Dark, okay? Yes, put it away. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Hey, St. Hugo, thanks for subscribing, buddy. Good morning to you, although it's technically like 11:30 at night where I am, but that's all good.
Master at the BAFTA Game Awards. So you've got to give Lara a shout out for female representation, and Joanna Dark, obviously, know her, love her, Perfect Dark, brilliant. If you're looking at stories,
you cannot fix her.
Character creation,
no.
Inclusivity, BioWare. So you have to look at...
Okay, this is the part that I cared about the most, because this exactly sums up who this woman is, right?
Inclusivity, BioWare. So you have to look at all of the Mass Effects and all of the Dragon Ages, and really there, you've got your character creation, you've got choosing your story, you've got choosing your ending, you've got inclusive representation, and that leads to Baldur's Gate 3, and I think I've solved the mystery? Maybe? Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. What is your most influential video game?
Yeah, complete, absolute lunatic, right? This is just what she's into, is all this shit. Inclusivity, right? I don't even think her jawline is that bad. Level of crazy, you can't even subdue animal levels, yeah. So when I say I didn't have any connection to Perfect Dark because I didn't play it as a kid, and then I tried to play it years later and I just couldn't really get into it, and then I see that they spent 7 years developing a game and never got anywhere with it, and then they tried to lie and say that they released a game demo that turned out it was just literally like a vertical slice of basically like a tech demo or whatever, not an actual game demo. And then you figure out that this is the woman who's the voice actress behind Joanna Dark. I mean, this woman's insane, okay? She's completely unhinged. No opinion on her, you get why I'm saying what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, it's one more of the things about how I just don't feel sorry. I just don't. I don't know who this person is. Yeah, no, she doesn't post much on Twitter. I assume she spends most of her time on Blue Sky, where all the fun people hang out. Oh yeah, this article too, she was in this one. Hot, Talented, and Human from Entertainment Weekly. And of course, so Alex Wilton Reagan, she is, I think she's over, this is her here. And right here, front and center, is Miss Erica Ishii and her non-binary self. So again, they just interviewed a bunch of these complete lunatic voice actors for this. No, you can't fix her, guys. Let her be. Why do we care about her again? Because, unfortunately, voice actors and actresses have seem to have a profound effect on the narrative direction of a lot of the roles that they get. And I say that, I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that Erica Ishii is going to have a profound effect on the character she plays in Ghost of Yotei. Just saying, I'm calling it right now, guys. Her character is going to be lesbian, bisexual, non-binary, some weird shit where it would definitely deviate from the norm of the time that the game takes place in. AI voicing can't come soon enough. I know, Black Cat, but AI voices are so bad right now. They're still so bad. Who's playing Ghost of Yotei? I'm not. I still got to go back and play Ghost of Tsushima, and unfortunately, I have no time. So, yeah, no. Yeah, Erica Ishii plus the Veilguard Riders equals a Yotei fail. It'll still sell an impressive amount of copies in the first couple days on PlayStation, but I think the PC numbers are going to be really bad. I think the PC numbers will be exceptionally bad, due to just the mentality of people that, you know, play on PC versus play on PlayStation. Sony, this is not, like I said, you can play on any system you want to, whether it's PC, whether it's Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox. I truly don't care. Play however you want to play, right? But in reality, the fact of the matter is, people who spend more time playing their games on PC probably also spend more time connected to online discourse because they're watching YouTube while they're playing their game or whatever, right? So you're going to sell more copies of this on Sony as a PlayStation exclusive than you ever will on PC, I'm pretty sure. That's just my theory. I don't know. Why does it take 3 times as long to upload videos to Rumble versus YouTube? That's a great question. I have no idea, Quillpig, but I've had that problem for a long time. It also depends on which computer I'm using. If I'm at work and I do a quick video for the secondary channel, it'll up my upload speeds at, oh my god, my upload speeds at work are godlike. I'm talking 10, 12, 15-minute video uploaded in about 30 seconds. At home, 5 to 8 minutes. I'm like, what the hell, man? Constantly villainy signaling her hate for straight white men. Yeah, no, dude, honestly, Slots, that woman's nuts. NS, my dude, your country is turning up, man. Check this shit out, dude. Have you seen the numbers from the UK for your petition for the Stop Killing Games? It's doing phenomenal, man. You guys have already passed the 100,000. Yeah, so that's a little bit about that insane woman. So, not to, you know, not to not address this. We have to talk about this before the stream is over. Ghost of Yotei will be a Lady of Masako Infinite Quest. I miss watching YouTube while I surf in Counter-Strike Source. Dude, honestly, like, I'll still try to, if I'm just chilling at the end of my day, if I make a video, I'm uploading some stuff, or I'm not going to stream or whatever, I will typically try to have, like, a second browser popped up on the other monitor, and I'll try to, like, listen to a stream or watch a video or something as I'm just getting my ass kicked on Insurgency or whatever. Man hater supreme, pretty much. I heard good things about the MDUD anime. I gotta watch that anime sometime. Yeah, Mahendra is our anime aficionado. I know nothing of anime. I know of the anime. I just don't watch the anime. So from Axios, Geo Media sells Kotaku to Gizmodo owner Keliops. Funny thing is, I had never heard about this Keliops company before. Very strange. Battery dies too fast. Yeah, well, they intentionally make batteries die faster and faster, I swear. That's my conspiracy theory for the night. I have absolutely no idea what Stop Killing Games and the whole Pirate Software drama is all about. Dude, NS, here's the very short, condensed Reader's Digest version, man. Stop Killing Games wants game preservation. They want to preserve games after, again, the games go offline or they shut down servers. They want it to be where people are allowed to create a server for the game if the company that's delisting the game is not willing to do it themselves. In a nutshell, make it available, you know? That's pretty much it. Because again, you have games where people spend thousands of dollars on microtransactions, or the game is $80 or whatever, and if they decide to shut the servers off and it's an online-only game, what do you do? Or in the case of games that are pulled off of, platforms and stuff. No, Quillpig, dude, honest to God, you can ask, like, Empress the last time I even dropped into one of her streams. It's been, like, weeks. I've been so freaking busy with baseball, man. I woke up the other morning, I got my cup of coffee after my son lost his second All-Star game, and then we went and watched one of the other girls' softball teams win the championship for that bracket to move on to state. And the next morning, I get up, it's like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. I go make my coffee. The sun is shining, it's like 85 degrees. I go outside, sit on the porch, and I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, I've got work, I've got life, I've got videos I gotta make, I got all this other shit to do, laundry and whatnot. But I don't have any baseball. I have no softball. It's all done for the first time in, like, 4 or 5 months now. I don't know what to do with that now. It's like, oh my God, I have time in the evening again, you know? It's insane. It's absolutely crazy. But Sharp phone battery is extremely solid. Dude, honestly, I just buy whatever the new Samsung phone is. Salt Miser, it's on YouTube. Oh my God, dude, that's awesome. City of Heroes and Warhammer Online are two old school MMOs that have been brought back from the dead in the last 5 years or so. It can be done. Yeah. I didn't start watching anime until recently. I thought it was some weeb shit. Turns out it's pretty good. There are ones that are probably more palatable for people like me who don't really watch anime, but we all in the chat wants to hang out to play softball. Dude, I would probably suck at softball. My daughter kicks ass at softball, but I don't know. Softball pitching is funky, guys. It is tough. Keeping up with Jellyfish Ludwig. I've seen some of the Ludwig stuff where he basically is stabbing that other guy Mango in the back because he got him, like, the Mango guy's an alcoholic and he got him drunk at a Smash Brothers or Mario Kart event or something. Death Note is one that I've heard great things about. There's a few. All right, so let's see. You got the timeline here. 2023 on March 13th. Lifehacker to Ziv Davis. Jezebel and Splinter to Paste Media. Deadspin to Lineup Publish. Basically, all the media companies getting bought up by other companies. Go Media has sold gaming news site Kotaku to Keliops, the European media company that acquired its tech news site Gizmodo about a year ago. Why it matters. The sale leaves Go Media with only one remaining property, black culture site The Root. Do you guys ever go to The Root, any of y'all? I'm sure that we have some black people in the chat. Does anybody even know what The Root is? Like, yeah, I've heard of Dan Dedan also. Bleach is one I've heard of long time ago. Let me see. Slugwig. Oh, Slugwig is pals with Pirate Software? Oh my God. Well, all I heard about Ludwig is apparently I think he's like a Hassan ball washer. I don't know. I know nothing about his content. I know nothing about him personally. I watched some, but it's not weeb shit. I got news for you. You're the weeb now. Yeah, exactly. This is the first time I'm hearing of The Roots. I've heard of the website before, but to be honest, I don't go to black culture sites. Go figure. Shocking, right? I know. Saw it today. Go Media gets what they effing deserve. So, Alyssa Mercante, former senior editor at Kotaku, tries to spin it as a positive, and we'll get to that in a minute. Says the sale leaves Go Media with only The Root. Zoom in, Kotaku's editorial staff will remain, and Keliops plans to hire more senior talent, echoing its approach with Gizmodo. CEO John Guillaume Kleiss told Axios. Probably butchered that name, but I don't care. Kleiss declined to share the purchase price of the all-cash deal. They bought it for cash? Oh man, they bought it cheap. Holy shit. He said in the short term, he had no immediate strategy shifts as he hadn't yet met with Kotaku's editor-in-chief. Kotaku's editor-in-chief is a trans person. That man, Caroline Pettit. That's really funny. He says, I like to trust people, and I know that people in this industry have really good ambitions. Clay said, the market is really challenging, but I know what they want to do the rest. Guess what? Carolyn Pettit's going to be the next person fired, okay? Carolyn Pettit is going to be out. There's just no way. No way. Yeah, French name CEO, that's very reassuring, right? Let's see. Geo Media CEO Jim Spanfeller told Axios in an email, we're very happy that we were able to find a great home for Kotaku and its entire staff. We wish the team and Kelly Apps only the best. The move is part of the Switzerland-based company's broader plan to build a tech-focused media portfolio and grow more in the U.S. Kelly Apps launched in 2014 and acquired 4 French media brands, Onet, Journal de Geek, Presse Citron, and a bunch of freaking French names. Holy shit. It's privately held and profitable. Kleiss said he couldn't have acquired Kotaku alongside Gizmodo, but waited to gain confidence, or say he could have, along with Gizmodo, but waited to gain confidence in the business model. And how is he wait. How does he have confidence in Kotaku's business model now? That is insane. Like, holy shit. Kelly App's US monthly audience is up 100% compared to last June, and Gizmodo's total audience has grown 400%, Kleiss said. It generates more than half its revenue from affiliate deals with partners like Amazon. This is why every one of these articles you read has a disclaimer that they have affiliate links in the websites, in the articles, so that, you know, you have to know that they're getting money from like clicks and ad revenue and everything else. Man calling himself Petite. I don't know if it's Caroline Petite or Caroline Pettit, but it's a dude who thinks he's a woman. It's an ugly ass dude, let me tell you. The rest comes from display ads and branded content. We expect Gizmodo to grow even bigger this year and next year as well. That's why we wanted to double down on the US and make another significant acquisition. With the Gizmodo acquisition, Kelly Ops opened a US office in New York and began navigating the new market. One new area was negotiating with Writers Guild of America East for Gizmodo's new contract, which included AI protections. AI will never replace journalists. That's a shame. Especially high-quality journalists. Is there such thing as a high-quality journalist? I take it back. Eric Kane over at Forbes is a pretty damn good journalist, or at least he's a good writer. Tom Henderson. A few of the guys over at, like I said, Insider Gaming are pretty good. That's why we're really focusing on experienced people bringing a lot of value to our readers, creating an engaged community. He said new priorities for Gizmodo include live coverage of events and vertical videos on social media. No, that's not going to work. I'm sorry. Nobody watched Kotaku's videos. Nobody even watched G4's videos that they were putting on YouTube. That's not going to work. Nobody goes to watch videos of journalists. They just don't. They watch Asmongold. They watch Tectone. They watch other streamers and content creators. They don't watch those people. That is insane. Let me see here. Oh, here's a funny one. Here's a good one. Ethan Gach over at Kotaku just yesterday on July 1st took a screenshot of Vera Dark's post here and said, Kotaku still lives rent-free in these people's heads all these years later, as both washed up has been on the verge of collapse and all-powerful wrecking ball, single-handedly forcing developers to make their games woke even when it hasn't written about them in years, right? So it's in context to this Ready or Not review score tanking, which I haven't even covered the Ready or Not stuff. Person says context, and it says Kotaku complained about the game being too gruesome, so they softened the game up, and now they're removing nudity and other stuff to console and people who bought the game on Steam. I don't think it has anything to do with Kotaku, but that's just a person's opinion about it, right? Ethan got so butthurt about it that he screenshotted it, didn't even quote tweet Vera, and put it right here. A day later, Kotaku is sold off to a different media company. I'm like, this aged like milk. Just fantastic, right? The timing couldn't be better. Absolutely crazy. Slots on Rumble says Gizmodo, acquired by Kelly Apps in June 2024, has faced criticism from some online communities, particularly on platforms like Reddit, for content perceived as, quote, woke. I mean, that's kind of like saying the quiet part out loud. Oh my god. Who said a bad word? Did NS say something bad? Oh, you guys are all weeping out in the chat. That's hilarious. They normally get shown next in the feed, which was what I'm saying it more happens than I want to watch them. Yeah, no, the thing about it is they're going to push the media content on you whether you want to watch it or not. Joe Blow has more credibility than a journalist or MSM anchor. Fair. Safa Kotaku Safa. That age like Rosie O'Donnell looks like a walking corpse. Yeah, no, so the funny thing is they're saying that they're not replacing any of the staff at Kotaku, but I'm telling you, it would not shock me if Carolyn Pettit gets axed from freaking Kotaku. But of course, Grums had posted about this. GigaBear put this tweet out there. It says, after this delusional tweet, I want them to hire her back just so she can get laid off again when Kotaku finishes imploding. So, Alyssa Mercante, again, disgraced former senior editor at Kotaku, says, so happy for the team, and I hope they can get back to doing what made Kotaku so special. Now that they're no longer under the thumb of a man determined to disembowel the sites that he purchased, with the right leadership and support, they can thrive. That's funny she puts on here new editor-in-chief because I thought she liked Carolyn Pettit, the trans person that was the current editor-in-chief. That's really funny that she says with the new editor-in-chief they can do well. Very, very interesting. What are you saying sorry for? Did I miss something? Oh, the anime. Dude, I don't care. You can weeb out, that's fine. Actually, it's not Carolyn Pettit, it's pronounced Carolyn Pettit. No, dude, I don't even know how to freaking pronounce it, man. Local Belland, yeah. Oh, you think she's... No, see, because she was the senior editor. She wasn't the editor-in-chief. You think that she's actually angling for the trans dude's position? I don't know. Here's the thing, Chief Danier. I don't know if they're going to allow them to keep putting up the same shit articles. I haven't seen much in the last 6 months from Gizmodo that's any of like the super rage bait articles like what freaking Kotaku puts out there. Kotaku and The Gamer and The Verge are some of the ones that, honest to God, put out like, I would say like if you have like right wing or, you know, Gamergate, pro gamer, anti-woke, clickbait, rage bait videos and articles, Kotaku is like the mirror of those, like the left-wing version of those, right? All they do is put out articles they think they're going to piss gamers off with because they want to get hate clicks and rage bait, right? That's it. She's angling, she's female. I think Mercante is more turf than she'll ever admit. I don't know. I don't think so. She's pretty damn pro anything that pisses anybody off. I don't know. Alyssa wouldn't be editor-in-chief, she'd be editor-in-queef. Oh my god. Oh, thank you, Cage. PC, so The Gamer, PC Gamer, Kotaku, and The Verge. Less The Verge than the rest of them. Not surprised if that comment gets eaten up too. No, I mean, I read it over here on Streamlabs. I don't know if it... No, it showed up on YouTube too. She's broken, she's bald, of course she wants the job. Yeah. No, Duck. She used to be a cam model. I don't think... No, she has... Okay, hang on a second. She has a Patreon, but I want to say that she just puts her articles on there and paywalls them. But I'm not about to find out. I am not about to find out. Yeah, Will, they would if they could, but I have no mods in the chat. I need to mod some more people. I've got a few mods, but like I don't really even care at this point because I pretty much run my own chat anyways. So if I have to time somebody out, which I never do, or ban somebody, which I don't, I can just do it myself. Yeah, cam model, exactly. I mean, she claims she was a sex worker, but that she, you know, did what she had to, right? Do I know what I just said? I don't know what I just said 2 minutes ago. Don't call cam horse or you'll get banned on Twitch. Dude, if I get banned on Twitch, I will consider that a badge of honor. Okay. She also had a sex blog. No one wants to see that, you know. No, I've seen, unfortunately, people like Atreus, and I think 8-Bit Eric also shared him one time. And I had the misfortune of seeing before I could, like, avert my eyes. And holy shit, no. That was not something I wanted to see ever. Ever. Most female streamers are. Well, here's the thing, Geek. It's unfortunate for the ones that aren't. Because at this point now, when you come across a female content creator who looks a certain way, and we all know what that look is, and then you see a link to anything other than their YouTube channel or their Twitch channel in like their Twitter bio, at that point, you can pretty much assume just by clicking on that link, it's going to take you to a link tree or whatever that's got a Fansly, a Patreon, an OnlyFans, shit, I don't know, whatever other sites there are, right? Yeah, Atreus has done that to me a couple times, man. He has done that to me several times. If you get temporary ban on Twitch, you get a popularity boost. You know, Will, I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't complain at all, you know? Yeah, but here's the thing. Geek, I look at Vera, and I would never assume that Vera would have that on hers, right? I would never look at Vera Dark and look at her and say, oh, she looks like somebody who'd have an OnlyFans, but she doesn't. That's the thing. She doesn't have that look. You said Fansly. I said it because it's a thing. It exists. Trust me. Okay, so if you comment on any of these Twitter e-thought, they're not even like real people. I swear half of them are AI images and just ran by some Indian dude and whatever who's got like a farm of like 150 accounts they run. I'll post like a meme like, you know, e-thought be gone spray or whatever. And then the only people who like it are a bunch of other e-thought accounts. And then the rest of my timeline today for the first hour was more of these e-thought accounts. And I'm like, oh my God, the more I comment on one, that's all they're showing me. So I got to stop sharing these memes, you know? Alyssa is one bad day away from going through the Ellen Page pipeline. No, I don't think so. Mod all of you. I think that would be dangerous. Slots, you just sprained your foot on the wall. Dude, my bro, that's no good, man. I'm sorry. Do I have, what do I have for slots out here? Hang on. Salutes in the chat for his ankle. Or foot, I guess. Nah, dude. It's a reality. It's not even like a personal bias thing. It's a reality that the Indian scammers, that's a real thing, man. Way to go, James Gunn. Yeah. All mods. Only mods. There you go. We're gonna start only mods over here. I call those accounts thought bots. Some are most definitely AI pics. Well, no, see, I can see the American flag on that one, man. The one that was the fart mod has got someone's outline like of a face or something. In fact, this one in the middle here, I don't even know what the hell this one is. Oh, that's like really loud applause. Okay. Yeah. I don't know, man. I need to redo this Stream Deck. All right, hey guys, I think we need to end it here. It's getting late, and eventually my wife is going to come out here all pissed off and grumpy because she texted me and told me it's bedtime and I didn't come to bed. So I'm going to have to end things. Is Reddit already pretty much only mods? Yeah, for the most part. For the most part. You get 10 Indian scammer calls every day. Okay, before I leave, guys, before we wrap this up, hang on, story time. All right. So, this morning, I'm like, all right, so Petco is where I buy my cat food. Because on Petco's website, if you spend $50 or more and pick it up in store yourself instead of having them ship it or you know whatever, you get 10% off your order. And I'm a cheap son of a bitch, right? And so I'm like, all right, I'll buy 2 bags of cat food. That's like $80 and plus tax like $90. It gets me 10% off. Cool, whatever. And then like my Petco's over by Costco. I got to go to Costco tonight anyways. No big deal. So I go on my work computer, which is a newer computer because I got it from Meta PCs. Shout out Meta PCs like 2 months ago. And I've never gone to Petco on that computer. Never logged in. So they have none of my information saved on there. I have no idea how they would know it's me, right? Enjoy the couch. No. I think I'm still in that window where she's not mad yet. So I get on the website for Petco. I go to sign in and instantly it says access denied, access blocked, right? And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? So I get on the app on my phone for Petco. I'm like, this is really weird. Maybe it's because I'm using Brave Browser and Brave Browser blocks ads, but I'm like, no, I use Brave Browser at home and that's where I'm logged into Petco's website. I have no idea. I get on my phone, I get through all the checkout process and I hit PayPal and it says access denied, right? And I'm like, what the frick is going on? So I make the mistake of calling Petco's customer service, and of course, it sends me to a freaking call center, which normally I can work around. A lot of these people, like my medication I get for Crohn's disease is from a call center. Usually it's not too terrible. Well, every phone that this gal keeps switching to is cutting in and out. I'm hearing like every other syllable. Eventually, I hang up. Call back 5 minutes later. I get a guy now, this time instead of a woman, doing the exact same thing. Okay? The exact same thing. And I'm trying to ask this guy, why is my account blocked? Why is my account blocked? What is going on? Well, he can't tell me that. All he can do is ask me the questions about my address, my phone number, my username, all this other stuff. And he's like, we're going to get resources, we're going to get technical help, all this stuff. Okay, great, whatever. And eventually he goes to put me on hold. He's like, now may I ask you some questions? I'm like, okay, whatever, I don't care. What genre of music are you currently listening to? And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Like, no. Like, I don't know if he was running like a side hustle, like if he asks survey questions of people that he's talking to from customer service, if he can make like extra money or something. But I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't know why you're asking me that. I want to know why my freaking account is blocked. Eventually, I just say, screw it. He's trying to tell me, no, now try to log back in. And I hang up the phone. I get on a Chrome browser because Chrome is ass, but I still have it installed. Get on Petco's website, log into my account, and I can get on there to pay for it. But the weird part is my account with the same username and login doesn't even have the cat food in the cart anymore. So I don't know what's going on. He was hitting on me. No, dude, it was straight up like he's reading off of a script, okay? So that was how my day started. That was literally how my day started. I spent an hour after I got to work dealing with customer service in a different country where he's legitimately like asking me survey questions instead of fixing my freaking account. Okay. Dude. Yeah, Slots, I was so pissed off. It was so freaking, I just hacked. No, I don't know what his deal was. I don't know if he was honestly like, if he'd figured out like a way to get, like I said, extra money from asking survey questions of people that he had on hold or whatever for Petco. I was so pissed off. I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm normally pretty even keel when it comes to dealing with like call centers and stuff. I don't tend to get like, send me to America. I need someone who speaks English. I'm pretty chill, right? But no, that was like, I'm not starting my day this way. There's no way. Tell him this call is being recorded for quality assurance. I mean, yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna hit the hay with that. I think I can finally go to bed. But dude, I tell you, I don't know when I'm gonna have another video. Probably tomorrow night. I don't know what it's gonna be on because there is so much shit now to go over. But this has been fun, guys. This is awesome. You all were a lot of fun tonight. I appreciate everybody for hanging out. Thank you again, 8-Bit Eric, for the raid. You've been super supportive, dude. We all know Dan was jamming Imagine Dragons. No, screw Imagine Dragons, man. No, I got the wife tickets for All American Rejects for our birthday, and then still got Creed coming up in a couple months. No Three Doors Down, though. It's a bummer. Poor guy has cancer. I don't know if he's even going to make it. All right, you guys. Over on Rumble Slots, all you guys on YouTube. Jasmine over on Twitch finally shut up. I think the AI spammer finally understood that I didn't want to see her anymore. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you for hanging out. Have a nice, sexy time with your wife. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that the time for that has sailed. It's almost midnight here, and we're not old, but we are very tired. This is my kingdom. This is my kingdom come. No, Will. No. Yeah. Oh, and Geek is still rocking over on Kick. Look at you, Geek. You're all alone in your chat room over there. All right, guys. Like I said, I appreciate you all, but I am going to go now. I need sleep. So, from me and Jasmine, I am out. I will catch